say that what President Trump did was wrong. You know, I think what would have been the wrong thing to do would be for President Trump to say nothing, not get involved. That would have been the wrong thing to do, right? You want a president who's an advocate for the country, not someone who's advocating for other countries, which is what most of the other presidents do. All right, so if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. All right, and we've got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover today. Okay, we're going to be live. Let me check the time. Let me get it right. Okay, we're going to be live in about 35 seconds, guys. So hang in there. It's already. Can you believe it's already Monday? I can't believe it. The weekend. What a great weekend, huh? Did you guys have a great 4th of July celebrating the 250th anniversary of freedom for the world, right? That's right. All right. 15 seconds. Yep, the number's pinned in the live chat. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. Liking the video gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. So please like the video. Okay, here we go. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It is Monday already. Can you believe it? July 6th, 2026. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We've got a lot to cover. I'm going to talk about what Trump did for Team USA, the soccer team. We'll talk about that in a minute. And this morning, before the show, I don't know, about 40 minutes ago or so, I was live streaming. I was live streaming on YouTube Live at Starbucks this morning, and a cop rolled up on me and put his spotlight in my eyes. I'm still seeing the spots from the spotlight from the cops. He was checking me out, questioned me, and you can see it all on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. And I'm very curious on how some of our liberal African-American listeners process a white person being questioned for doing nothing wrong. I was just sitting there having my coffee, and the police roll up and put a spotlight in my eyes and start questioning me. I'm very curious to see how the liberal African-American, defund the police crowd in the audience think about that. And I'm still seeing spots. Boy, that spotlight was bright. Yes, white people get questioned by the police too. And I don't know, those of you that have seen that video, if you've not seen it, it was just less than an hour ago on YouTube Live. It's on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show. Did I behave appropriately, or was I a little mouthy? Because I was a little annoyed at the spotlight in my eyes. There's no doubt about it. I was annoyed at the spotlight in my eyes. But if you watch the tape, by the time I was done, the cop apologized to me. Did you hear that? The police officer apologized to me at the end of that. It was the power of persuasion. How many of you have had a police officer apologize to you at the end of the exchange? Oh, my goodness. And that was a serious apology. He was seriously apologizing to me. But anyway, you can check that out on my YouTube channel. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on how I behaved during my very brief but police interrogation. All right. Before we get into all the big issues of the day, and there certainly are, and callers on hold, hang in there, I want to talk about what Trump did for Team USA, because this just blows my mind, okay? You know, when I went to bed really, really early last night, and so I woke up really, really early today. And I'm going through the news, and the lead story everywhere is Trump abuse of power, and Trump going over the line, and he got involved and got the red card lifted for Team USA, and this is ridiculous, and blah, 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 blah. Abuse of power. You know, our star player, who is on Team USA, who was an American citizen through birth tourism, okay? His mother was 7 months pregnant, flew to New York, gave birth, and then she left like 5 minutes later. But her son's a U.S. citizen, and he's on Team USA. And while we don't like that, we don't mind him helping us win the World Cup, which would be kind of cool. So he was given a red card because the official said that he stepped on the opposing team player's ankle. And I saw this. It didn't look like he stepped on anyone's. It looked like he was about ready to kick the ball to me. But Team USA, we've got one star player, and on football, I mean real football, not this soccer thing that they call football, like real football that we have here, How many times have you seen a coach stand up against a bad call or a call that was a good call, but they said it was a bad call? That's what you do. And, our star player, the odds were against us without this guy. Do you put it in, and I did look, I went back and looked this morning. It looked like he was just about to kick the ball to me. I didn't see anything where he goes after some guy and purposely steps on his ankle. I didn't even see him step on the ankle, to tell you the truth. But anyway, do you trust these World Cup refs when it comes to making calls for Team USA? I don't. They hate this country. Most of them are probably foreigners, and they're liberal. And the ones, if they have any American officials, they're probably liberal too. I don't trust these guys. But what did Trump do that was so wrong? I can remember so many times watching a baseball game, and I'll see the manager or the coach storm out of the dugout after an umpire. Have you ever seen that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many times have you seen a tennis player mouth off to the officials because it wasn't on the line or something like that? Many times. In fact, when I was younger, I used to just watch tennis just for that. Remember Connors and McEnroe and all that stuff? That's why they're famous, Jimmy Connors and McEnroe. Because you watch not so much for the tennis, but the fight with the officials. And that's what you're supposed to do. And when you're a coach, one of your chief duties is to advocate for your team against officials, whether the penalty is right or wrong. In this case, it was wrong. But so what the Trump call? If you've got a problem, I'm watching the sports commentators this morning. I don't usually watch sports commentators, but the sports media are just like the regular media. They're liberal jerks too. And they're just outraged at this. How dare Trump do this? How dare he? The abuse of power, all this nonsense. This is Team USA. Donald Trump is the head coach for the United States, okay? And, he's very much into sports. Now, he doesn't get involved on this level typically because it's American team against American team. That's why when he goes to the Army-Navy game, he'll sit for one half on one side, the second half on the other side. He's not going to get involved between two college football teams from different American colleges or two baseball teams from two American cities. Maybe if Toronto was involved, he'd get involved or something. But you understand what I mean. But this is Team USA, and Donald Trump is the coach of Team USA. So what is wrong with him calling up the FIFA official and saying, hey, this red card sucks? Could you lift it? That's what he's supposed. What Donald Trump would have done that would have been wrong is if he didn't say anything. That would have been wrong. If he didn't get involved. Don't you want a president who advocates for Team USA, whether it's our Team USA World Cup team or Olympic team, or just Team USA, the American people inside our 50 states and territories? Yeah, of course. So all these people that got a beef with this, beef isn't with Trump. Go to FIFA, FIFA fo fum, and air your grievances there. And the left, the left are so uncomfortable with America winning. For some reason, they've convinced themselves that America has to lose. This is an amazing time we're living in, people. It is an amazing time with just all kinds of amazing things going on. including the amazing special for America's 250th anniversary that is continuing today at Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And everybody's back for normal business hours today. You know, Coastal Weight Loss Secret, you guys know how much weight I've lost. I lost over 35 pounds. My goal weight was only 25. I lost more than 10 pounds more than that. I've kept the weight off for well over a year without exercise, without starving myself, eating foods I would normally eat without any pills or shots. It's amazing. It works, and it's effortless to keep the weight off. At least it has been for me, and I love it. And Coastal Weight Loss Secret, in honor of America's 250th birthday that we just celebrated on Saturday, is offering $400 off. So call Coastal Weight Loss Secret today, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. Do it naturally. Look great like me. All natural. Got my chin back, my jawline back, my neck back. I have a flat stomach, and I weigh what I weighed 30 years ago today. $400 off with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And remember, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose weight no matter where you're located in the United States or the world. 561-247-6300. This $400 off offer for the 250th 4th of July is for a limited time, so don't waste time. Call 561-247-6300. We'll be right back. Okay, so anyway, guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Are you looking for your next unforgettable read? Then order your copy of the thrilling first book in the Deep Time Cascade series from author SFjr, The Redenor Legacy, available on Amazon. What begins as a routine geological expedition in the remote mountains of Norway turns into a discovery that could rewrite everything we know about Earth's history. Four geologists uncover an ancient underground system buried deep beneath the rock. It's filled with mysterious symbols, hidden chambers, impossible technology, and secrets that were never meant to be found. As strange events take place around the planet, the team realizes they're racing against time. The deeper they descend, the more they uncover a forgotten intelligence and one shocking truth. If you love high-tech science fiction, ancient mysteries, edge-of-your-seat adventure, and stories that blend science with global suspense, this is a book you will not want to put down. The Redenor Legacy from author SFjr is available right now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited. Are you looking for jewelry that's as unique as you are? Then check out Kita Luxury on Etsy, where every piece is handcrafted with passion, artistry, and the natural beauty of genuine crystals and gemstones, inspired by a love for one-of-a-kind bohemian designs. Kita Luxury was created with a simple mission to make extraordinary handmade jewelry accessible to everyone. Behind every creation is a talented team of skilled artisans, each bringing their custom expertise to metalwork, stone cutting, beading, and fine jewelry craftsmanship to produce stunning wearable works of art. Whether you're searching for a breathtaking statement necklace, elegant earrings, handcrafted bracelets, beautiful rings, or meaningful jewelry for both men and women, you'll discover pieces that celebrate your individuality and personal style. Every design is carefully handcrafted using high-quality, natural materials, creating jewelry that's more than an accessory. It's a reflection of who you are. Whether you're shopping for yourself or searching for the perfect gift, Kita Luxury offers timeless handcrafted jewelry designed to inspire, delight, and be treated for years to come. These healing crystals are some of the best jewelry on Etsy. Visit KitaLuxury.etsy.com. That's KEETA luxury.etsy.com. KitaLuxury.etsy.com. Handcrafted jewelry that tells your story. KitaLuxury.etsy.com.
Okay, we got about 90 seconds or so until we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take calls when you get back. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Did Trump do the right thing getting involved in this? Come on. Of course he did. Of course he did. These Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, they just can't, they can't see anything he does as the right thing to do because they hate him so much. Oh, I got a new video that came out of Mom Donnie, which I'll share in just a bit. Yeah, just 5 years ago, saying terrible things. Just over a minute, we'll be back, so hang in there. Yep, the number's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. All right, less than a minute. Yep. 30 seconds and we'll be back. 888-465-2631 is the number. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are. 888-465-2631. All right? 10 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
You know, if you were in China, Russia, and you spoke out, for another country in the Olympics, you'd probably be in the gulag somewhere. Why are politicians in America not supporting America? It just shows the hatred of the Democrats for this country. It's sickening. It's really pathetic.
Yeah, exactly. They're upset at President Trump for standing up for Team USA. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah. What is he supposed to not say anything, I guess? They don't give him any credit for anything that he has done.
And look, and then he got the suspension suspended, right? So, there you go.
It's the left, the loony left is gone off the rails, and there's no coming back for them. They can't say anything good about America. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they hate Trump and they hate America. That's it. I mean, it just sums it up.
I believe the greatest quote President Trump ever said was, "They're not coming after me. They're coming after you,
Correct.
The people, and I'm standing in their way." And I thank God every day for President Trump.
Indeed. Absolutely. All right, Jeff in Maine, you take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Hey, man. How you this morning?
I'm doing all right for a man who, like an hour ago, was questioned by the police.
Yeah, I saw that. He did not see you with your Starbucks coffee cup, and
He had it.
Starbucks is open.
So how do you process? White people get questioned by the police too for no reason. I was doing nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey,
No. Hold on a second. The people on the left, in particular African Americans on the left, talk about how the police are targeting black people and everything. Me being questioned with the spotlight in my eyes from a police officer an hour ago, isn't that proof that the police also question white people, that they're not this racist organization?
Okay. What I'm calling you about this morning is my ultimate favorite team is the New Orleans Saints football team. Okay, the season getting ready to start. When the Saints lose a game, I'm going to call the White House and tell Donald Trump, will he call the commissioner of the football league, Mike Cordell, and tell him, will he please make my Saints win?
That's ridiculous. First off, why do you think President Trump doesn't get involved like in NFL games or college games or anything else? Why do you think?
He got involved, but he got involved yesterday.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Doc.
Okay.
Hold on. What is the difference between doing what you're suggesting, getting involved in the NFL, and then getting involved in this? What's the difference?
The guy was suspended for a game.
Okay.
Trump called
All
him
right.
and told him to
Okay.
take
All
the
right.
red card off,
No. Okay. The reason, why do you think Trump doesn't get involved? Let me ask it a different way. Okay. Why does Trump not get involved in NFL games like he got involved with this?
Because he could think it's cheating.
No, because who do the Saints, like, who would they be playing? Like, who's a team they like? Who's their big rival?
Actually, Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. So those are two. Okay. Calm down. Those are two American cities. He's not going to take a position American versus American. Team USA, it's in the World Cup. Excuse me. Of course, in the World Cup, it's Team USA against the world. Don't you see the difference? This isn't Team USA against Atlanta.
It's a team, Ryan. He should have never did that. I'm sorry.
You don't even see what Trump derangement syndrome does. It's really.
It's not derangement syndrome. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Hey, can I say one more thing before you cut me off? Can I say one
No,
more thing?
well, before you say another thing, you've got to understand, Team USA, it's the United States versus the world. Advocating for the United States versus the world is different than advocating for New Orleans versus Atlanta, Georgia.
It's not different, Brian.
It is different. There's no difference between New Orleans and Atlanta and Team USA and the world. You don't see the difference?
But I don't. It's not a difference. He should have never got involved. And you see how we both going back and forth. You say, and really, all your callers love Trump to death. So they're going to agree with you.
You're one of my callers. You don't love Trump.
I don't love Trump. Yeah, I do love Trump because I love all my human beings.
I can tell.
Hey, one more thing, like I say, before you cut me off, one more thing. Who that, baby? Who that say gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Really?
Really? Who that, baby? Who that they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Oh my goodness. That is a man who is devolved before our very eyes on the program. He doesn't see the difference between two American teams versus the team of the United States versus other countries. It's bizarre. See what Trump derangement syndrome does? It erodes your ability to see things clearly. It's like being drunk. It's like being intoxicated. Really, you can't think logically when you have Trump derangement syndrome. All right, now the rest of you on hold, you hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to remind you guys, Mike Lindell has an incredible Made in the USA 250th anniversary special going on, as well as the mega sale right now at mypillow.com. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at mypillow.com, there are huge, huge savings. Both up to 50% off, by the way, on the Made in the USA products, which includes the most popular MyPillow product. These are some of the lowest prices I have ever seen. The Mega Sale 2 has begun. So if there's a MyPillow product you want or have thought about getting, you haven't gotten, it's probably on sale, deeply discounted right now. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, for huge savings. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back right after this. Doc's losing his mind, people. He's losing it. We'll be right back.
emergency was as easy as opening an app. It is with VCER Signal. VCER Signal is the 911 of the future and the world's first emergency response gig community, where everyday people help everyday people. Whether you're stranded with a flat tire, locked out of your house, need urgent home repair, or want added protection for yourself or children, VCER Signal connects you with nearby people who are ready to respond when you need help most. It's a revolutionary new way to think about safety. It's fast, local, and community-powered. At VCER Signal, it's simple. People saving people. Imagine having a trusted network at your fingertips for roadside assistance, home emergencies, personal safety, and so much more. All through one innovative platform. The future of emergency response is here. Visit distress.life. That's distress.life to learn more and become part of the movement that's changing the way communities help one another. And be sure to follow on Instagram at VCER Signal. VCER Signal. People saving people. The 911 of the future. Online at distress.life.
All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. We've got less than 90 seconds till we're back. We're still in radio station break. And, you heard from Doc. It's so typical, right, with these Trump derangement, hate America first people. They just don't get it. He does not get it. President Trump doesn't get involved when it's American city versus American city. But if it's the United States versus the world, you do get involved. Should he not advocate for our Olympic team? This is like an Olympic team. We got about 45, 50 seconds and we'll be back, all right? If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free and pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are located. All right, 30 seconds and we'll be back. Oh, my goodness. They'll never get it on the left, ever. Blows me away. All right, about 10 seconds, we'll be back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Billy Edgar. I'm from Nebraska.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah. Apparently they have bad phone connections in Nebraska because his phone just went dead. That call from Doc was such a great call. It really was, because it really illustrated what the left are all about, right? He couldn't understand the difference between Atlanta and New Orleans and backing Team USA. Team USA, it's like the U.S. Olympic team, right? Are you not supposed to, if you're the president of the United States, support our Olympic team? Now, you may have seen over the weekend, sadly, there was a New York police officer, I think it was a detective, was shot in the line of duty. I came across this morning. This is not very long ago. This is Mamdani in 2021, just 5 years ago. And listen to Mamdani. Now, he's in charge of the police now, right? He was at a press conference about the shooting and everything else. Here's Mamdani just 5 years ago talking, well, both about Israel and the NYPD.
The cruelty.
No, hold on. I got to cue everything up. First soundbite of the week. I'm always going to be off a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. Cue it back up.
The cruelty of what is happening in Israel, in Palestine, it is a cruelty that is systematized and does not simply rise and fall when the IDF decides to kill men, women, children, and families beyond the binary in Palestine in different moments of spikes. I think of how the NYPD and the IDF have had a relationship for many years, a relationship that has meant, tactics of oppression crossing from one country to the other, and that has meant an increased, surveillance and oppression of marginalized people wherever they may be. The same way that when we talk about defund the NYPD, the entirety of the push is defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services and things that actually create safety.
Well, this is crazy town, right? This is just 5 years ago, 2021. There's been a police officer shot in New York City, one of his police, and you hear how he thinks about it. He hates them. He thinks they're evil.
And so I think that when we need to connect the struggles against austerity with the struggle against the funding of Israeli apartheid, it is so important that we do not cede any ground to apartheid and to supporters of apartheid. I respect that there are many differences of opinion about the value of electoralism, the value of engaging with the state, but I do think that as long as the state has this monopoly on violence, then we have to contest the state at every which point and every which place, and there is an opportunity to have our voices heard within the state. And obviously by becoming a member of the state in terms of its political class, you are compromised because you're legitimizing it in many ways. But I think if I didn't see the ability for us to claim victories from the inside, then I wouldn't be doing this.
Wow. So Mamdani is talking about how he's conquering the United States. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hold on one second here. Let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Chester. I'm calling from Idaho.
All right, Chester in Idaho. Get ready, Mike. Yes, Chester in Idaho.
Yeah, so I understand that it's kind of hard to maybe come up with new topics every night when you have to cover a lot of news stories, news every day, but I can't see the connection between Zoran Mamdani criticizing the police for having ties to the Israeli military 5 years ago, and now today him somehow inferring that he must support the death or at least be complacent in like a NYPD officer.
5 years ago is like 5 years ago was like yesterday. That's recent. That's not,
No, that was the coronavirus. The political landscape, at the very least, was totally different. But regardless, even if it was today, I would have no problem with his comments. He's basically correct.
What? What is he correct about?
He's correct to criticize the NYPD for having ties to the Israeli military.
No, what he's talking about here. No, what he talks about. Okay, at the end of the clip that I played, he talks about running for office and holding office so he can undermine the U.S. system and the New York system with the NYPD. So what he's this is a so no excuse me, the mayor of New York City does not run and become mayor to undermine the police in the city. They want to make the city better.
Undermining, really. I think you're characterizing it in a really weird way.
Well, because you're probably one of these democratic socialist commies, and you just don't see the world clearly.
Democratic socialist.
What'd you say?
I said I'm considerably to the left of a democratic socialist.
Oh, okay. What's that? What is the left of a democratic socialist?
Like a rule of the universe that the NYPD is always like a good thing, and they should never be criticized or changed by the mayor of New York. I think
that's not what he's saying. He's talking about 5 years ago. How old are you? You must be a kid. That 5 years ago was not that long ago. This wasn't 30 or 40 years ago. This was like 2 days ago in the lifespan of a person. 5 years ago is nothing. 2021. You think that's a long time ago?
At least for Zoran Mamdani, I don't even know if he was a politician at that point.
Yes, obviously he was an yeah, sure he was.
Okay, but it could be today, and I would agree with him.
See, this is what you don't understand. Mamdani is a subversive revolutionary agent whose mission is to destroy the United States. When you say you're left, excuse me, you said that you're left, you're to the left of the Democrat Socialists. What are you, an anarchist?
No, definitely not.
Well, what are you? How would you describe yourself if you're to the left of these?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of silly to call yourself a socialist in like 2026 in America especially, but I would say I'm not a liberal, and I would say that Democratic Socialists are liberals.
So what are you? What makes you more to the left of them? Like, what are your positions?
It's pretty common among like far left people to be pretty anti-gun control, as I am. But I think we should probably abolish like for example, I think we should probably do with Israel what we did with like Japan after like World War II, or maybe
what, nuke them? Drop two nuclear? You want to drop nuclear bombs on Israel?
No. Sorry, of course not. After we did that, we restructured. I don't think we should nuke. Gosh. Oh. No, but they like restructured the Japanese government, and they restructured the German government put their allies in, and obviously their allies right now are our allies. But,
So you
know,
okay?
they
So
killed
this is
10,000
interesting.
children.
You want the United States to go in and conquer Israel. So you support wartime. You want us to attack a country and conquer it. That doesn't sound liberal.
Yes, it is like Nazi Germany. It is a horrible state that
Really?
does not exist as it is.
Really? Yeah, wait a second. Excuse me. You mean the Israelis have concentration camps where they put people in showers and gas them and then cremate them? You said they're like Nazi Germany.
I mean, yeah, basically.
No, not basically. Are they doing that?
No, they're doing different awful crimes against humanity. They're doing different crimes against humanity, but it's still a genocide.
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a line cook. I'm a cook.
You're a cook. Okay.
I'm a cook.
You're a cook. Well, that's a good profession.
I make nice food.
Really? What kind of food do you make on the line?
Whatever. What is this pivot?
Well, I'm just trying to learn more about why. I'm trying to learn.
They deliberately starved out a population and bombed civilians. They're bombed.
Well, why don't you? Well, if you care so much about these people, why don't you go over to the Palestinian areas and cook for them and provide meals for them?
That's kind of like a silly cop out, right? Why don't you like move to wherever you think there's like a problem?
No. You're saying that the Palestinian people are being starved to death, and your profession is in the profession of preparing food. You were in the profession of providing meals for people, and the first problem you said is they're being starved. So why don't you go with your friends and cook for the Palestinians so they don't go hungry? Being a cook and all.
You're right. That would solve the problem. Regardless, though, I don't think I would, because I would have to pass through Israel. I would never give Israel my tourist dollars. If I was going,
you're not giving tourist dollars.
I could go to human. That would be a good thing.
Yeah, but that would involve putting your money where your mouth is, and you're just a griper.
Does it invalidate anything that I'm saying, though?
You invalidate yourself with everything that you say.
No, you're just being silly. You're being very silly.
Mm-hmm. Like, what kind of food do you cook? You're a line cook.
You're doing a whataboutism.
No, I'm not doing a whataboutism. You said that the Palestinian people are being starved. You're in the food preparation industry. You're a professional cook.
What am I supposed? It's not that they can't prepare the food. It's that Israel was blocking food from entering the country. They were blocking aid. I can't smuggle. What, you want me to smuggle in smash burgers?
Sure, why not? You know, President Trump ended the war. You know, President Trump ended the Gaza war, right? He's rebuilding Gaza. You know, President Trump's rebuilding Gaza, right?
He's not rebuilding.
You could go over. You could go to Gaza right now. You're free to do so and prepare meals every day for the starving Palestinian people. But you won't do it. Why not? Why won't you do it?
I'm free to enter Gaza.
Sure. Yeah, go over there and volunteer to. Yeah, sure. No, you're You're there for humanitarian purposes. No, you are there for humanitarian purposes to prepare meals for the starving people of Gaza.
Impossible because of the. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, you're just like stun-locked. You can't move on from this point.
Well, you're a hypocrite.
No matter how ridiculous.
You're a hypocrite.
No matter how ridiculous you sound. I'm a hypocrite. No, I physically could not if I tried to enter Gaza.
Sure, you could.
Master of international espionage.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a spy. You're going for humanitarian purposes.
I would have to pay tens of thousands of dollars even if I were to be considered.
No, just take yourself.
No,
I want to volunteer my services to the people of Gaza to prepare meals for them every day. I'm a professional line cook, and I will prepare food for you.
If I did that, then you'd agree with me, right? You'd agree with me.
No, but it would show that you put your money where your mouth is.
I don't think that's really an issue. You know.
I know you don't. All right. Hey, listen. I appreciate the call. Oh my goodness, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey Brian, how you doing? This is Dave from Pennsylvania.
Hey Dave.
I just want to make one comment to the caller from Idaho when he was talking about
the cook that won't cook for the starving Palestinians. Yes.
Yeah. Well, what do you call Iran executing tens upon tens of thousands of people, their own people, for
yes,
protesting?
that's a good question. That's a good question.
wanted to call in and say that.
Yeah, well, you said those are good words. Appreciate the call. Indeed. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I want to check in with Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax.
On the line is Jamie Levac from Swift Tax. You know, Jamie, a lot of people probably missed the filing deadline for their taxes, and it's not too late for them to file, is it?
No, it's not, Brian. Actually, a lot of people who scramble for the deadline doesn't actually apply to them. If you, in general, get a refund every year, and you think they will be penalized for filing after the due date, do not worry. Call me now, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, to file your taxes, whether or not it is past April 15th and you have not filed an extension. So call me now, we can get you filed and get your refund in your bank account as soon as possible.
Yeah, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax has a direct line to the IRS, and he will handle everything for you. Give him a call right now. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, hang in there. We'll be back after this quick break.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust to your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. Stay asleep at night, and I wake up feeling well rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And King Cream Bed Sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98. Lux Spear 6-piece towel sets. Towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
What happens when a group of complete strangers are thrown together and forced to rely on each other? Find out in the new book from author Helen MacArthur, Super Route 7, Ride or Die. Available on Amazon. This darkly funny novel takes readers on a journey filled with unforgettable characters, unexpected twists, unlikely friendships, and the kind of secrets people spend their lives trying to hide. Written by veteran journalist and magazine writer Helen MacArthur, Super Route 7 blends humor, heartbreak, suspense, and sharp observations about the choices we make and the baggage we carry with us. If you enjoy character-driven stories with wit, mystery, and plenty of surprises along the way, Super Route 7 is a ride you'll want to take. Super Route 7, Ride or Die, from author Helen MacArthur, is available right now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited. Get on board and order your copy right now.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you. Not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we're still in radio break. We'll be back shortly, so if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And everyone, please like the video. When you like the video, it really helps grow the channel. So that clip I played in the last segment before the call from Idaho was Mom Donnie talking about taking political office to bring down New York City's police department. Isn't that something? Well, I got more I'm going to share. We're going to be back in 45 seconds. Terrible. Terrible. That's you know, that's your modern Democrat Party. Hang in there. All right, about 10 seconds, we'll be back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You know that that call from Idaho, the line cook that won't feed the starving people that he says he cares about? I played a clip of Mom Donnie before his call from 5 years ago. I love how the guy thinks, oh, that was so long ago. 5 years is nothing. Okay. It wasn't like it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Not that there was ever a good time to talk that way. But Mom Donnie is talking about running for office to bring down the city of New York's police department, the greatest police department that's ever existed on earth, the NYPD. And the Democrat Socialist, of which he's the leader. He is a self-identified Democrat Socialist, which are communists and revolutionaries and anarchists. And but he's not. He's become their leader. He's unseated AOC and Bernie Sanders with these endorsements and everything. This leaked out over the weekend. This is a collection. The voices you're going to hear. It's what Rush used to call a montage. It's a montage of Democrat Socialist of America people from around America. The first one's from Los Angeles.
And, you know, we have a unique responsibility to act from the heart of empire, the belly of the beast. That's the most important thing that we can do is to put that empire down from within.
Our role ultimately is to facilitate our own empire's failure in ways that we can, ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
U.S. imperialism is not a thing that can be reformed away. It has to be overthrown through revolutionary struggle.
And to build a mass movement that can use the leverage of workers to hit the kill switch on American imperialism here within the American empire.
Okay, so those are Democrat Socialist of America representatives. Portland, Seattle, LA, and there was another one, I can't remember where they were from, but that's what they stand for, okay? Make no mistake about it. And what Mom Donnie is telling us is that's in 2021 that is why he became the mayor. So this is Mom Donnie in 2021.
The cruelty of what is happening in Israel, in Palestine, it is a cruelty that is systematized and does not simply rise and fall when the IDF decides to kill men, women, children, and families beyond the binary in Palestine in different moments of spikes. I think of how the NYPD and the IDF have had a relationship for many years, a relationship that has meant, you know, tactics of oppression crossing from one country to the other, and that has meant an increased, you know, surveillance and oppression of marginalized people wherever they may be. The same way that when we talk about defund the NYPD, the entirety of the push is defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services and things that actually create safety. And so I think that when we need to connect the struggles against austerity with the struggles against the funding of Israeli apartheid.
Now listen to this.
Is so important that we do not cede any ground to apartheid and to supporters of apartheid. I respect that there are many differences of opinion about the value of electoralism, the value of...
Okay, now here's the part where he's talking like these other Democrat Socialist of America people here in the United States.
Electoralism, the value of engaging with the state. But I do think that as long as the state has this monopoly on violence, we have to contest the state at every which point and every which place, and there is an opportunity to have our voices heard within the state. And obviously, by becoming a member of the state in terms of its political class, you are compromised because you're legitimizing it in many ways. But I think if I didn't see the ability for us to claim victories from the inside, then I wouldn't be doing this.
Hear that? He's talking about getting elected to office to bring down the NYPD. And now he's the mayor. Think about that. Think about that. Now, this is what happened over the weekend with this Patriot Front. Did you guys see this with Patriot Front over the weekend? I mean, who are these people in the Patriot Front, right? And they have this photograph. What I'm sharing with what I'm talking about right now, you can find on the Drudge Report. They have this photograph of Patriot Front, who's the media identify them as a white nationalist, white supremacist organization, all on a bus, all wearing masks, on a bus in D.C. with one black woman without a mask, and they're surrounding her. And New York Times has a big story about this. There's a big question: who really are this fake Patriot Front? You know, they've been around for the last couple of years, and the general consensus is that they were feds. Well, we're the feds now. We're the feds, right? Kash Patel, Todd Blanchett, they're the feds now. So is Patriot Front still part of the feds? And then you might think that they're part of the Southern Poverty Law Center, but they've been busted too. Who are they? I don't know. Nobody knows. But it's a fake white nationalist, white supremacist group. Nobody knows who they are. They don't stand for anything. And this photograph that the New York Times ran with is the most staged photograph you can imagine. If you haven't seen the photograph, it's on the Drudge Report. You may not have gone to the Drudge Report in a long time, but it's still there, the Drudge Report. So it's a bus in D.C. over the 4th of July weekend. Everyone on the bus is a Patriot Front member wearing a mask, sitting down, standing up, and there's one person who's not, who's a black woman without a mask, who looks terrified, surrounded by these people. That is the most staged photograph I have ever seen in my life. I have never seen such a fake, staged. Who took that picture? And who posted it? And how did it get out there? Give me a break. This is textbook propaganda. So who are the Patriot Front? Is it Antifa? I don't know. But I do know this. That that photograph is the fakest thing I have ever seen. And I wanted to pull this up. This was, hold on. This was Doug Burgum was on with Dana Bash on CNN, right? And the fake Patriot Front, there, you know, with this photograph and everything coming out, Dana Bash asks Burgum about the Patriot Front.
I want to move on. If you, as Interior Secretary, would you recommend to the President that he condemn this group and what they were trying to message, what they did try to message?
Okay, so this is what they do on the left. The Patriot Front is a fake group. It's a staged group. Who they are, we really don't know. That photograph, the most staged photograph in American history, okay? But they put this fake group out. They identify them as white nationalists, and then President Trump is supposed to condemn them. And the reason they try to get President Trump to condemn them is if he condemns them, it's as if he's acknowledging the part of the MAGA movement. You understand what I mean? It's insanity.
I want to move on. Would you, as Interior Secretary, would you recommend to the President that he condemn this group and what they were trying to message, what they did try to message here in Washington?
Well, there's been, and a part of my response to that is that there are protests on the wall. People say things that I think are irreprehensible about President Trump, and yet they're allowed to go on because of free speech in our country. And so this is something that President Trump, I was with him in North Dakota, I was with him in Mount Rushmore, I was with him.
White nationalism.
Is it really, Dana Bash?
It's, as you said, a part of
I'm sure you do. Yeah, that's amazing to me. You know, Dana Bash, who, you know, they don't, I don't know how aware they are, but the Patriot Front, they can't be feds because we're the feds now. They can't be Southern Poverty Law Center because the feds are on to Southern Poverty Law Center. So who are we left with? I don't know. This Kash Patel, they need to arrest these guys, bring them in. Okay, and I'd like to find, I'd like to see an investigation into this fake bus photograph and how this came to be. Because what they're doing is they're trying to spread this false narrative that there's this white supremacist organization roaming free in America, doing all these things. They're a fake organization. And if white supremacy and white supremacist organizations were such a problem, they wouldn't have to put up a fake one. The real ones would be out there doing what they do. All right, that's 1 hour down, 2 to go. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with your calls and more right after our top of the hour break. We'll be back.
How would you like to find your next great read without wasting hours digging through millions of mediocre books? You can do just that at novelholla.com. Novelholla.com is an ebook store built for readers who care about quality. Unlike massive online bookstores that overwhelm you with endless choices, every title is selected with readers in mind, so you can spend less time searching and more time reading. And at novelholla.com, when you buy a book, it's yours. You're not locked into a proprietary platform or forced to use a specific device. Just download your books, read them where you want, and even share them with your friends and family. And best of all, great books aren't expensive either. Every book at novelholla.com is just $3.99. There's also a subscription plan, which is $5.99 a month. Stop sorting through millions of books that you'll never read when someone else has already found the good ones for you. Visit novelholla.com right now. That's NOVELHALLA. Novelholla.com. A curated library of books you'll actually enjoy. Novelholla.com.
My Pillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium My Pillows that adjust your exact individual the best sleeping.
When I got my pillow, I was asleep almost immediately. Stayed tonight, and I wake up.
Now for the lowest price ever. Today is $19.98. Queens only $18.98. And Kings and Queen bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98. Luxbeer 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you with a concept, now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
All right, here's the picture. Look at that. Does this look real or staged? This one black woman, who took the picture, and you've got the Patriot Front surrounding her. In D.C., there's only one black person on a bus in D.C. Does this look real to you or fake? Is it real or is it Memorex? What do you think? I know, give me a freaking break. Give me a break. That is the most staged photograph in American history right there. It can't get more staged than that. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free and pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back in about a minute. We're still in radio break. 888-465-2631. And, of course, please, guys, like the video. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. All right, about 50 seconds, we'll be back. That is the fakest photo. Look at that. It's a fake organization. Tell me, fake or real? Put in the chat. Fake or real, Patriot Front, in this photo. Is this photo fake or real? Meaning fake by staged. Is it staged? What do you guys think? It's obviously staged to me. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig on this Monday after the 4th of July. You know, I pulled up this photo of the Patriot Front on the bus with this one black woman in D.C. This is the most staged photograph I have ever seen in a political issue in my life, okay? I've never seen something so staged. And if you guys who watch me on YouTube, you can see the photo, but you can look at this up. I'm going to share this on my X at Brian Craig Show. I just posted it on my X. Okay? So the Patriot Front is this fake white supremacist organization. First off, why are they taking the bus all of a sudden? All of a sudden, Patriot Front takes the bus, right? So the entire bus is filled with them. Every seat is filled. They're standing up, and there's one person who's not Patriot Front, a lone black woman, no mask. They're all wearing masks and sunglasses, so you can't identify them, and hats. And she's looking kind of scared. Who took the photo? And I love how she's posing for the photo. This is nuts to me. And the left, it does such a disservice because, when there's real racial issues out there, people don't believe them because of these staged things that you're seeing with the Patriot Front nonsense. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Earlier you said about, how Trump derangement syndrome is non-stoppable, man. 4th of July, President Trump was making speech after speech saying how great the country is, and yet the damn liberals had to come up and say, oh, he's doing insider trading. He made a coin, and he shouldn't have been able to do that. I said, why not? The family did it. They're not allowed to make money anymore. They're not to be in business. But
they keep making these comparisons. Well, wait a minute. The conservatives went after Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is not a real business person. He's a junkie, okay? And and he was just the bag man for daddy. Okay, and we know this because the laptop text messages and emails tell us all this. It's in Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell. Eric Trump has been running the Trump organization for years. He's the head of the Trump organization, and Don Jr. too. But Eric's been the leader of the organization, and they've been in business all these years. These aren't junkies. Okay, that are bagmen. They're actually really in business and have been for a long time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. They try to say that, Hunter Biden did something. I know exactly what you're saying, man. Hunter Biden does criminal thing, puts cocaine in the White House. That's a whole different story. These guys are honest. You don't think that they know everything they're doing is going to be in the public eye? They make sure.
Well, the reason that the Trumps are into crypto is because they were debanked when President Trump left office the first time. Yeah. Okay, and they'll do. You think they're going to leave him alone when he leaves office? Of course not.
Yeah, man. Well. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but probably not.
No, they're gonna listen. Everyone in the Trump family, Barron and Kai Trump, even when they're going to be harassed for life by the liberals. That's just the way it is. Tiffany's baby is going to be harassed. Okay, You know, this is how they are.
Yeah, man, they got a chip on their shoulder, boy, and it's
Trump
driving
derangement
them
syndrome.
crazy. And there's derangement syndrome.
All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. All right, if you'd like to call in, please do. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. First, I want to apologize for that deal last week with the shoot. Yeah, you were right. I didn't realize when I figured she could have driven away, but he wouldn't let her drive away, and that changed everything.
Well, what changed your mind? I mean, I was sharing everything on the air Friday.
Judge Brown, when he said that she tried to leave. In other words, I would have figured, hey, look, before I would get out of the car, I'd drive away if it's an argument like that, if I felt threatened. But she tried, and he blocked her.
So Judge Joe Brown saying what I was saying and showing you, that's what did it. Okay.
That's what.
So you can't take it from. You had to hear it from somebody else.
Well, you were right. I'm just trying to let everyone know you were right.
Okay. Apology accepted. Kind of.
I apologize. Now I want to listen. First of all, real quick, President Trump should advocate for the United States. If you take a look at these soccer players, the whole game they're flopping all over the place and they're grabbing their ankles every 2 minutes. And they're in excruciating pain until the referee doesn't drop a yellow or a red card. Then they get up and run away.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total farce. It's like fake wrestling. So that I want to eliminate right away. I want to talk about that line cook that called about the genocide. I'm tired of this. These people.
Hold on, Richie. While I answer, my phones are ringing off the hook. You're talking about the line cook from Idaho who won't feed the starving people he's concerned about. Yes.
Exactly right. First of all, you illiterate moron on an egg line, okay, making eggs. The Egyptians have that whole border blocked so they can't get out, and the Egyptians wouldn't let food in.
Well, you know, listen,
when the food came in, it was.
The guy said the guy said he was to the left of the Democrat Socialist of America. I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah, totally.
A nutcase.
It tells you he's a Nazi, a
Mm-hmm.
total Nazi. He
Yes.
He has 2 tattoos on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm trying to bring up here, okay, what they forget is they attacked Israel without justification. They could say it was resistance. They went right into Israel, took how many people? They killed over 1,200 people, took over 200 hostages. Now that population over there could have turned over some of these terrorists, but they didn't. Not one. They kept their mouth totally shut and wouldn't let anyone know where these hostages were.
They raped, they murdered, they kidnapped. I mean, it was medieval what they did.
That's right, and that could have stopped day one had they turned over those hostages that they took, and they wouldn't turn them over, and the population was right on their side, would not divulge where they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were in houses of doctors and lawyers and every other darn thing. So this guy talking a crap of genocide, listen, they held the hostages. That was genocide.
All right, I don't want to talk about the Gaza stuff all over again. It was just a reference he made.
That guy's a moron.
Well, that's for sure. I'll agree with you on that, Richie. All right, Richie, well, I'm glad you see the light in the Walmart shooting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Andrew from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yes, Arkansas.
Man, I just wanted to hear some thoughts on what do you think is up with the White House X account posting or Q posting?
What is it? I don't know what you're familiar. Tell me the posting. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of an older post. It's from June. I think it's June 22nd.
Okay, what's it? And what do they post?
It says the White House will be Q posting today, and then they posted.
No, that's fake. The White House would never post. They would never say we're going to Q post. They would never say that. If you see that online, it's fake, and you know it. Come on. The White House would never say that.
Brian, I think you're a grifter, man.
What's a grifter? A person who works for a living?
Well, someone who would come on and do a show and put a Trump hat on and act like you're pro-Trump.
Oh, I'm anti. You think I'm anti-Trump? You think I'm anti-Trump?
Yeah. You should go follow the White House and go check out what's going on.
The White House would never post, we're going to post Q post today. They would never post that.
Oh, you don't think so?
I know so. Why would they do that? No, if they did that, if they posted what you said they posted, are you okay? You're coughing. What are you choking on?
I just woke up this morning.
Okay.
Okay,
Excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. If the White House posted what you said, no, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
I think everyone knows you're a very little man.
Okay. If the White House posted, okay, we're going to post Q post today, that would be the lead story on every news outlet in America. So why would you discredit yourself by saying something so false?
Why would you self-report to not even looking at the White House, what they're posting on X?
No, that's not an answer. That's a question.
And the DOD.
No, they would not write, we're going to post Q post today. Give me a break.
Read it and weep, Brian.
Are you mentally ill? I mean, what's your beef?
Well, I've called in before, and you did this funding muting tactic last time.
What is that? A conversation? Having a conversation?
I wanted to see if you're still a skeptard.
What's that?
We have confirmation from the White House now.
Confirmation of what? That you're an idiot?
Well, we have confirmation you're an idiot now.
Really?
And you'll never get the firmware update.
The firmware update? What?
Yeah, when your internal processing realizes you were not aware of the patterns going on around you. So you can go look at the DOD.
Oh, what are the since I'm not up to speed like you with the latest. Wait, do you mean firmware in my? Excuse me. All right, appreciate the call. The firmware in my brain. I will not get the firmware update. Oh my goodness. Oh, man. I want to talk about Sloman Central Air Conditioning. Oh, this is a hot summer in Florida, isn't it? Oh, man. Sloman Central Air Conditioning has an incredible offer. Listen to this. With Sloman Central Air Conditioning, you can get a high-efficiency 5-ton 18-SEER system that uses R454B refrigerant for just $59.99. And get this. Listen to this. Great deal. Yeah, just $59.99. You heard me right. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Your new system also comes with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper service plan, which includes annual system maintenance, filter replacements, and refrigerant, so you have no annual maintenance cost. And you'll also receive the Sloman Shield home security system installed with 5 years of professional central station monitoring included with your AC package. Give them a call, 561-217-COOL. That's COOL. 561-217-COOL. 561-217-COOL. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. And during the break, I'll try to get that firmware update downloaded to my brain after this. Oh my goodness. What a nutcase. What a nutcase. We'll be right back.
You're exhausted, so why can't you sleep? If you work nights, rotating shifts, early starts, or long hours, you already know the problem. Most sleep advice assumes you sleep at night. But what if your job won't let you? You can get the sleep you need. You just need the right help and that's what you will find in the Shift Worker Sleep Fix, a practical system to sleep deeply on any rotation from author Sam Calloway, available on Amazon. The Shift Worker Sleep Fix is a practical, actionable guide built specifically for people just like you who keep the world running after dark. Nurses, paramedics, truck drivers, factory workers, security professionals, hospitality staff, and more. In this must-read and life-changing book, you'll discover simple, real-world strategies for sleeping during the day, managing rotating schedules, creating the perfect sleep environment, and handling caffeine, meals, and days off without throwing your routine into chaos. You'll also get easy-to-follow shift-specific plans, printable cheat sheets, and a complete 14-day starter program designed to help you take control of your sleep schedule. Order your copy right now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited. The Shift Worker Sleep Fix, a practical system to sleep deeply on any rotation, from author Sam Calloway on Amazon.
All right, we are less than a minute from returning from our break, so hang in there, guys. Oh my goodness, yeah, I couldn't find that firmware update for my brain. Does anybody have that firmware brain update so I can see the patterns around me? Oh my goodness, what a nutcase. Nope, I just looked again. I don't see it. 30 seconds and we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the number's toll free and pinned in the live chat. Oh my goodness. Nutcases. Okay, 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. I was looking during the break for the firmware update for my brain that the caller was talking about so I could see the patterns around me. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I couldn't find it. So if anybody has that firmware update for the brain, please DM it to me or something so I can see these patterns that nutbag was talking about. And before we get back to the issues, big announcement. This is continuing this week. Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It has an amazing special for America's 250th anniversary. It's $400 off. You heard me right, $400 off. You've seen the incredible results that I've had with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I've been on one weight loss program in my entire life, and it worked, and it's called Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost 25 pounds in the first 3 weeks, lost over 35 pounds total. I've kept the weight off without pills, without shots, without starving myself, without exercise, and eating foods I would normally eat. They can help you lose weight no matter where you are in America or the world. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret today. This is for a limited time. $400 off Coastal Weight Loss Secret. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. All right, so our Interior Secretary, he was on CNN with Dana Bash yesterday. I played the one clip. I got a couple more. Dana Bash was just losing her mind. And Doug Berg, what a great 4th of July we had, right? You know, Friday night at Mount Rushmore was beautiful. And Saturday night in Washington, the rain stopped just in time for the president to come out, and they started the fireworks just in time. And that was great, too, as we broke the Guinness World. They had Guinness World Record people on site. I didn't even know those people still existed, but they had Guinness Book of World Record people. I guess it would be Guinness Kindle Book of World Records now. I don't know. But they had Guinness Book people there keeping track. And we broke a record, and that's something else, I tell you. It was a great 4th. Did you guys have a good 4th of July? How could you not? Could you imagine what the 4th of July would have been like if Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, was the president, or Otto Penn Biden, or any... You know what would have happened on Saturday if Kamala Harris was the president? She would have given a speech apologizing to the world for the United States. That's what she would have done, if she was sober. Right? That's exactly what she would have done. Here's Dana Bash with Doug Burgum, the Interior Secretary, yesterday, talking about the damage in the reflecting pool. Listen to this nonsense.
I just want to ask you about one other potential issue here. In May, the president's armored motorcade of SUVs, which can weigh up to 20,000 pounds, drove across that coating of the reflecting pool floor. Could that have damaged it?
No, I was with him when we came that night. Didn't think that these. We were driving Cadillac Escalade. It is one of the president's fleet of cars that's substantially lighter than what you're talking about. And at the time that we were there, they were still putting down the whole base level of this industrial rubber layer was not yet completed, so there was no damage that night whatsoever. That was one of the questions we asked before we even brought the presidential motorcade there, but not a chance.
How much is it going to cost?
Okay. So, do you know what Dana Bash is doing with Doug Burgum? You know what she's doing? She's on the legal team of this Olympian that is facing 10 years in prison for vandalizing the reflecting pool. And what she's trying to do is put out reasonable doubt in that case that it was actually President Trump that damaged the reflecting pool. These people have lost their freaking minds, okay? They have lost their minds. And you know what? Not only have they lost their minds, they're looking for every excuse they can to blame Trump for everything that happened in the reflecting pool. Really? Did he bring the algae in there too? These people with the Trump derangement syndrome, they just don't, it's like I was talking about at the top. What President Trump did for Team USA, our soccer team, calling up the FIFA head about that red card. So our star player, who's a U.S. citizen only by birth tourism of his mother, okay? But he can bring back the honor of his family for doing something wrong by winning the World Cup for us. But, this guy gets a red card, which means he can't play in the game tonight, and he's our star player. First off, I've seen that. Everybody has seen the incident where they said he stepped on that guy's ankles. He didn't step on anybody's ankles. He's moving to kick the soccer ball, okay? And they gave him a red card. You don't put it past these officials to put out a fake red card to stop the United States. They don't want this country to win. It's beyond their typical hatred of the United States. These officials have Trump derangement syndrome. And nowhere else in the country rises to the level of greatness as the United States. And it would just drive them nuts for us to win the World Cup. So the president calls up the head of FIFA, and then all of a sudden the red card. We don't know the contents of the conversation, but all of a sudden the suspension is suspended. What is wrong with that? President Trump took an oath when he became president, both times, and he is to stand up to enemies both foreign and domestic. And he is the coach of Team USA. And President Trump, Team USA, that's right, all of us that are Americans are part of Team USA. And you want a president to advocate for your nation's team. Since when are you not supposed to advocate for the team of your country? We're in a new world of sickness with the Trump derangement syndrome. This is, now think about this, if Obama or Biden did what Donald Trump did, they would be praising him for standing up and defending Team USA. But because no matter what Trump does, it's wrong, whether it's in, reducing the murder rate in D.C. or even cleaning up graffiti. How dare you clean up graffiti? How dare you reduce the murder rate? Who do you think you are? We're going to find some Obama judge who's going to stop you from stopping people from getting murdered. You're out, you can't do this, Donald Trump. Who do you think you are stopping murders in the nation's capital? Who are you rooting for Team USA, Donald Trump? Oh my, we're going to impeach you over this if we want. These people on the left, the Trump derangement syndrome has taken a whole new level of disgust. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now, here we are on Monday. I know you guys were pretty active over the weekend. We all were, right? It was America's 250th anniversary. If you woke up on this Monday morning after the 4th of July and you're in pain, go see Dr. Appleton and talk to him about his laser away pain treatment. It works. Not only has he rid me of pain 7 times, none of the pains have returned because Dr. Appleton's robotic laser repairs the damage that is causing the pain. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Arthritis, bursitis, bone-on-bone pain, gout, TMJ, pre- and post-surgical pain, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, plantar fasciitis, fibromyalgia, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute and chronic pain, and the list goes on. And he does that without shots, without injections, without surgery, without downtime, and it's completely painless. You don't even feel the treatment happening. The consultation is free and appointments are never necessary. Walk-ins are always welcome with Dr. Appleton, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call, 954-973-0710, and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, hang in there, guys.
Are you
crystals, and gemstones. Inspired by a love for one-of-a-kind bohemian designs, Key to Luxury was created with a simple mission to make extraordinary handmade jewelry accessible to everyone. Behind every creation is a talented team of skilled artisans, each bringing their custom expertise to metalwork, stone cutting, beading, and fine jewelry craftsmanship to produce stunning wearable works of art. Whether you're searching for a breathtaking statement necklace, elegant earrings, handcrafted bracelets, beautiful rings, or meaningful jewelry for both men and women, you'll discover pieces that celebrate your individuality and personal style. Every design is carefully handcrafted using high-quality, natural materials, creating jewelry that's more than an accessory. It's a reflection of who you are. Whether you're shopping for yourself or searching for the perfect gift, Key to Luxury offers timeless handcrafted jewelry designed to inspire, delight, and for years to come. These healing crystals are some of the best healing jewelry on Etsy. Visit keytoluxury.etsy.com. That's KEETA luxury.etsy.com. keytoluxury.etsy.com. Handcrafted jewelry that tells your story. keytoluxury.etsy.com.
My Pillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium My Pillow that adjusts your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got my pillow, I could sleep almost stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. King's 1998, Queen's only $18. And Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $49.98. LeeZep 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept! Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
All right, we got about 35, 40 seconds. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, guys. 30 seconds. Okay, and everyone, please like the video. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. So please like the video. That helps so much. And all of you who have been doing that, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, 15 seconds. Yep, 888-465-2631. 10 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mark from Port St. Lucie.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing? I didn't get a chance to watch your video of you with your interaction with the police this morning, but did they detain you?
He put the spotlight in my eyes and was asking me some questions, and I interacted.
Right. What was his reason for even engaging you?
Well, if you go and watch the video, you'll see, but I'll describe it. It was a few minutes after 5 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Right.
And I was sitting in front of a restaurant that was not open, a few doors down from Starbucks, having my coffee, doing a live stream on YouTube. And it was kind of dark,
Okay.
and there's a wall there, and it's unusual for somebody to be. I do live stream from there quite a bit on the weekends. Never during the week, but it's unusual for someone to be sitting in front of a closed restaurant at like 5:15 in the morning. So I looked suspicious to him.
Looking suspicious isn't a crime, but
well, he didn't detain me. He didn't arrest me. He put the spotlight. He put the spotlight in my eyes, and I did. What was I to do? Run?
No, I understand. I'm just saying, have you ever watched First Amendment auditors?
Absolutely.
Go out with the
Yeah.
When I watch that, what I see is a lot of police officers who have either no regard or no knowledge of the Constitution and the rights that we have as citizens. They seem to trample them quite often when you watch these videos. They a badge and a gun gives them the power to demand.
No, I've done this.
from
You know,
when
there's
you've
a,
done
I've
nothing
got
wrong.
if you go to my YouTube channel, I was confronted by a poll worker who was trying to get me to leave, you know, and I did my own little First Amendment audit there. She's the largest poll worker you've ever seen in your life. But the police officer, you know, I saw him coming. He put the spotlight in my eyes. And he said something. I could hardly hear him because I was blind. I can almost still see the spots. It was so bright, you know, hours later. And I said, I'm here having my coffee. And he said, yeah, I can see your coffee. And I said, well, I can't see anything with that light in my eyes. And he turned off the light. And when he left, you can hear on the video, he apologized to me. The police officer actually apologizes to me. You know, but it does. But the purpose of he didn't do anything that violated my rights. I'm on private property in front of a closed business at 5:15 a.m. I'm not in the post office making a video like the First Amendment auditors or standing on I wasn't on a public sidewalk filming people going in and out of a marijuana dispensary. I watched those guys. I was on private property in front of a private business that was closed at 5:15 in the morning, sitting there. That's suspicious, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that would be somewhat suspicious. But with the Starbucks close by, I'm sure that lots of people come and get their coffee and maybe walk around or do whatever.
No,
they do
not here. Nope, it's not that kind of place. No. And if you watch the video, you'll see it. But no, you know, I don't know. I may have been a little mouthy to the officer than I normally would, but the light was burning my eyes. It was the brightest spotlight I've ever had. It was like a brand new. What are those lights? They're
LEDs?
Yes. It was an LED spotlight, and that hurt, man. It hurt when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
But the point of that I was making, it happened on the live stream on YouTube, so it was very spontaneous. But as was my reaction. But what I take of that is proving to all of our liberal African American listeners that police officers question white people too sometimes, and it's all in how you react.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
I
just wanted to call in with that.
All right, appreciate the call. I will tell you, if you watch the video, I was. This is not the first time I've had run-ins with the police when I've been doing live streams, okay? There was one time a few years back, I was driving to the radio studio in Coral Springs when we were in Coral Springs, and I was doing a live stream in my car, and I got pulled over at like 4:30 in the morning, and you could see the blue lights and behind me and everything else, and this was years ago, and I didn't get it. He pulled me over for speeding in a construction zone. And he didn't give me a ticket, which was very nice, you know. But this guy today, the way that I spoke to the police officer today was not the way I would normally speak to the police officer. The spotlight, the LED spotlight, really did hurt my eyes. It was painful. It really did, and I could see the spots for more than an hour after from it. It's too bright. You know, I don't like LED spotlights, and I don't like LED headlights either, guys. Although I've got LED headlights on one of my cars, I don't like them. And so I was a little more mouthy. And if you watch the video, I don't know if you agree or not, but I think I gave him I was a little more mouthy than I normally would be or recommend, you know. But that spotlight hurt. You know, this idea that white privilege allows us to just go out and run amok with that. You know, see, this is the thing. You know, when you're dealing with police, there's no doubt about it. Sometimes police are out of control, and I've had a couple run-ins. You know, there was many years ago. I had a run-in. I talked about on the air that day. This was 10 years ago or more. And I was on my way to the radio station, and it was about 4. You know, when I go to the radio station, sometimes I got to leave really early. So it was about 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, something like this. And one of my tires was so low on air that I had to get air, and I pulled into a closed gas station because not all gas stations are open 24 hours. I pulled into a closed gas station to put air in my tire because I couldn't make it to another gas station. I get up, there were 3 or 4 police cruisers surrounding my car, and they got out. And the lead cop was so nasty. And he says, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Putting air in my tire." He's like, "You back here buying drugs?" I've got the air hose in my hand. And I was down at it. I was like, "No, I'm getting air in my tire." You know? He's like, "You back here buying drugs? You buying drugs?" I said, "No, I'm putting air in my tire." These guys were so hopped up. And he says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to work." And he says, this was crazy. He says, "What do you do for work?" And I said, "I'm on the radio." And he says, "Well, I've never heard of you." Well, I didn't told him my name yet, you know. And, not that he would have heard of me then, but I don't know, I was wondering if he was the one on drugs. To tell you the truth, he was so hopped up on adrenaline, this guy. He was yelling at me and everything. And I said, "Well, if you, he's like, I can search your car. You want me to search your car?" I said, "Go ahead and search my car." And I had the radio on for the radio station as I was driving in. And we used to be on overnights. Remember, we used to be on overnights, midnight till 6. It was the show the day before. I said, "If you go in the car, you'll hear the radio on. You'll hear me on the radio." He's like, "You think you're on the radio now? You are on drugs." I said, "Oh, my goodness." I said, "Search the car, man. Go ahead and search it." And they let me go. They didn't search the car. And they let me go. He was really nasty. And, your interactions, the way the police deal with you, for the most part, is based on the way you react. And if you're calm, cool, and collected, you'll be fine. Now, this nutbag, to me at the time, he was so hopped up. It seemed to me that like there was some big bust that just happened down the street or something, and he didn't get to take the guy to jail, and he was hopped up on adrenaline. But he was really out of control and showing off for his buddies. But, he said, "I'll run your tag." Run the tag, What are you going to, run the tag, Search the car. I've got no drugs. I've got no warrants. I'm just trying to get to work, man. Now, the guy this morning, I don't know. I have to go back and watch the video. I don't want to say exactly where I'm at because I go here and live stream on YouTube all the time. So, I had to go to I had to change Starbucks because creepy listeners were coming, like really creepy listeners. I mean, some really creepy guys were coming to the place I used to go. So I found a new place to go, and I don't want to give away my location of solitude, especially when I'm there at such early hours of the morning in the dark alone. There's no doubt about it that I was in a very, very, I'm on private property. I'm in front of a closed down business. The Starbucks is 4 doors down or so from where I was. And I'm sitting at an outdoor table at a closed restaurant at about 5:15 in the morning. I don't know what could be more suspicious than that, And so I think the cop did the right thing. But the problem is, like the last caller, he sounds like a good guy. And I do watch these First Amendment auditors online, if any of you watch them. And the First Amendment auditors, and I like what they do. I'm fans of some of them that I do watch regularly online. The First Amendment auditors, what they are, for those that don't know, and I had my Trump 2028 hat on too, by the way, this morning when I had the interaction. You can see the video on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You can watch it from this morning. The First Amendment auditors, they have cameras and they'll stand on a public sidewalk and film the front door of a business, or they'll go inside a post office. They'll go inside places where you are legally allowed to film in public. And what the First Amendment auditors try to do is they try to get somebody to call the police. They're poking the bear. They're trying to start a conflict. Me, I'm not trying to start a conflict. I don't want to freak people out and start a conflict with the police. They're trying to start a conflict. And that in the very beginning, like one thing they do that is kind of they've been doing this the last year, but it's like a big thing, is these First Amendment auditors like to go in front of marijuana dispensaries. They'll stand on a public sidewalk and film everybody that goes in and out of the marijuana dispensary. and the people will get freaked out and they'll call the police, and then the police come. So these First Amendment auditors are always trying to instigate to get the police to come, right? That makes it more exciting for their videos and everything they do. Me, I'm not going through life trying to pick fights like those guys. I'm just doing my thing. All right, now I do want to talk about what we're at now, right? We are over halfway through the year. That's right. It's summertime. We're halfway through the year. And, you know, every year you schedule your dental appointment, your yearly eye exam, you get your physical with the doctor. But do you ever check for hidden heart disease? Yeah, put that on your annual list of things to do and start this month, during the month of July, with Life Imaging. You know, Life Imaging, they have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade, as well as Orlando. You know, summertime is a time you want to have a great time. You want to go on vacation, spend time with the kids, spend time with the grandkids, go golfing, play pickleball, go to the beach, go on vacation. But are you healthy enough to enjoy all those things you've worked so hard to be able to do? Call Life Imaging for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, say free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. We'll be right back. All right, guys, hang in there. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for your next unforgettable read? Then order your copy of the thrilling first book in the Deep Time Cascade series from author Medicare, The Redenor Legacy, available on Amazon. What begins as a routine geological expedition in the remote mountains of Norway turns into a discovery that could rewrite everything we know about Earth's history. Four geologists uncover an ancient underground system buried deep beneath the rock. It's filled with mysterious symbols, hidden chambers, impossible technology, and secrets that were never meant to be found. As strange events take place around the planet, the team is racing against time. The deeper they descend, the more they uncover a forgotten intelligence and one shocking truth. If you love high-tech science fiction, ancient mysteries, edge-of-your-seat adventure, and stories that blend science with global suspense, this is a book you will not want to put down. The Redenor Legacy from author Medicare is available right now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited.
All right, we're in radio break for about one more minute. If you're on hold, stand by. And if you'd like to call in, the number is 888-465-2631, a toll-free call. 888-465-2631. Let's see. Okay, less than a minute, we'll be back. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Richie, he couldn't take my word for it, even when I'm showing the video, but he hears somebody else saying the same thing I'm saying. And, oh, yeah, you're right, Brian. I won't take that personally. Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll be back in a few 10 seconds. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Welcome. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 2631, 888-465-2631. You know, we're in this incredible period right now where the Democrat Socialist of America communists are destroying the Democrat Party. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing as we're approaching the midterms. And they're never going to recover from this. And, you know, the reason they're not going to recover is because some of these Democrat Socialists are winning the primaries. If they were losing the primaries, it would be different. They might be able to move beyond it a little bit, but they can't. And the Democrats are not running against Republicans in the midterms. They're running against the Democrat Socialist. And see, the thing is, the Democrat Party establishment want the Democrat Socialists to lose in the midterms. They don't want these Democrat Socialists to go to Congress. So what's going on inside the Democrat Party, what they're doing is what the Republican establishment did with the Tea Party and what they've been trying to do with Trump, trying to get him to lose. And so we've got now we do have to have a massive turnout, and we've got to swamp them at the polls and all of that. Please don't let it reduce our turnout, and don't take things for granted. But the Democrat Party establishment is working to lose seats around the country. And as more of these people win, the more they're going to fight to lose. Now, and the Democrat Socialists have no sense. So they don't try to hide what they are. This is a video they put out over the weekend on X. And then I've got one from Talib I got to play. Listen to that. Okay, here's a montage of the Democrat Socialists bragging over the weekend about why they're socialist. Oh my goodness. Oh, really? That you have free housing? That's amazing. Okay, there you have it. So you know, they're really, it's amazing. They're very self-destructive, these Democrat Socialists, because they're just bragging about everything they're doing all of the time, okay? And that's great. Because the Democrats can't spin this away, you know? And a lot of them, they're young and stupid, and they're surrounded by other Democrat Socialists, which of course we know they're communist. You know, I call them Democrat Socialists, not communists, so, you know, people know exactly who I'm talking about. You know, when I say Democratic Socialists moving forward, just assume I'm saying commies, okay? Their entire world is a world of these Democrat Socialists. So they don't even think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. And this is Talib over the weekend. She's out campaigning. Listen to this. This is Rashida Tlaib over the weekend.
Hey everyone, it's Rashida in Washington, D.C. We just had an amazing press conference to support living wage for all, which increases minimum wage to $25 an hour.
Wow. You know, increases minimum wage to $25 an hour, the federal minimum wage. You know what blows my mind? Do any of you go to McDonald's and go to the drive-thru? Have you been to the drive-thru at McDonald's in the last year or so? What is the first thing they say to you? What do they say to you when you pull up to the drive-thru at McDonald's? What do they say to you? Welcome to McDonald's, and then they ask a question. Every McDonald's you go to, I go to McDonald's once or twice a week. Sometimes I just go for a large Coke. They say, welcome to McDonald's, and they ask you a question no matter what McDonald's you go to. What do they ask? Welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using your mobile app today? So why do you think they do that? Why do you think they do that? And why did and I was at McDonald's the other day with my daughter, right? And they pulled up and they said, welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using your mobile app today? Which I always say no. And I said to my daughter, I said, why would you pull up to the drive-thru if you're going to use your mobile app? And my daughter says, well, I use it because you can get some coupons and things like. She says, I got like 20% off the other day using it. Okay. So what do they do? But what's McDonald's doing at the corporate level with that? And any McDonald's I've been to in the last year or two, they say, welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using your mobile app today? And then I find out they're incentivizing people to do it. Like my daughter just told me. So I might do it in the future. Why do they do that? They want their employees to know that they're replaceable, right? They're replaceable. They're warning their employees not to join SEIU and not strike and not start advocating for $25 minimum wage, or they're going to phase you out. They don't need, in fact, they're already doing that. Do you ever go inside a McDonald's? I don't go inside very often, but on occasion I will. And all the McDonald's in my area have a machine that you order from. Now, if you go up to the counter, you can order from a person, but they don't have anyone stationed there. They're back in the kitchen working, right? So they're already doing that. But and I imagine this, welcome to McDonald's, will you be using your mobile app today, is being done at McDonald's nationwide, because McDonald's corporate wants their employees to know that if you unionize, if you join SEIU, and you advocate for the $25 an hour minimum wage that the Democrats, Socialists, Commies of America want, we're just not going to have you. We're going to run restaurants with 2 people, and everyone's going to order off their mobile app. Okay, that's what they're doing. It's really crazy when you think about it. Anyway, let me get back to this, to Talib.
Hey everyone, it's Rashida. I'm in Washington, D.C. We just had an amazing press conference to support living wage for all, which increases minimum wage to $25 an hour. I'm out here because our revolution needs to step up in Michigan. You know that voting just started. Abdul is on the ballot.
Now, I'm going to tell you right out the gate, I will never vote for someone named Abdul. Will you? If I see the name Abdul, that's a red flag to me for voting. Would you vote for someone named Abdul?
Our revolution needs to step up in Michigan.
And what is this Muslim woman advocating for this Muslim guy talking about a revolution? Revolutions are violent.
Because our revolution needs to step up in Michigan. You know that voting just started. Abdul is on the ballot right now to be our next U.S. Senator. The only candidate right now is unapologetically supporting Medicare for all, as you all know. But over 50% of Michigan residents in many, many congressional districts already are getting a ballot if they haven't already. And that means election day is now. So sign up, help get Abdul El Sayed to be our next U.S.
Abdul El Sayed? I don't think so.
Senator from Michigan, and someone that we're just not going to have to check him on his votes. He's going to be with us, and we're going to make sure, again, that we have his back. But all of us know the importance of direct human contact. That's how we get elected, especially someone like Dr. Abdul El Sayed, who's unbought and doesn't take corporate PAC money.
Yeah, well, what money is he taking, though? He's a doctor? What kind of doctor is he? I don't think so. But Abdul El Sayed, who's running for the Senate in Michigan, as an example, okay, he may win that, right? There's been a big Muslim move in Michigan, no doubt. However, the Democrat establishment don't want him to win. So the Democrat, did I say Republican? I'm so used to attacking our establishment. The Democrat establishment don't want Abdul to win. So even if he wins the primary, the Democrat establishment are going to do everything they can do to stop him from winning. Now, I don't know, I hope they're successful, but this is what I'm talking about. They're involved in a civil war inside the Democrat Party, which is a beautiful thing. Now, I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. And, one thing about Jupiter Joe Thomas, did you guys catch me on his show this week? We did kind of a role reversal where I guest hosted the Jupiter Joe radio show. and interviewed Joe Thomas, and we were talking about annuities. And I every time I talk with Joe, I learn so much more about annuities. I really, really do. And, you know, with annuities, though, he's got an annuity where you get a 15% bonus on day one on your money right out the gate. First day, you earn 15% on your money, and you're still guaranteed that monthly check every month. It is amazing. You know, with annuities, your money is never at risk, your principal always is safe, and you're putting that money to work for you. You know, if you have money sitting in a 401k doing nothing for you, call Jupiter Joe Thomas. Take all or part of that money, put it into an annuity, protect the money, and have it work for you, giving you a check each and every month for the rest of your life. Take advantage of this no-charge consultation no matter where you're located with Joe Thomas. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. Give them a call. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with more and your calls. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back after this. All right, guys, hang in there. I'm going to take a quick break, okay? And we'll be right back.
Author Tyree Carter comes your next must-read book that makes a great addition to your book club. It happened in Vegas. Vegas was the lie. Love was the truth. Available on Amazon. 4 years. That's how long Hiniel has spent trying to silence the memories of a bitter divorce, pouring every ounce of her soul into her designs. Raul knows all too well how fragile life can be. Still mourning the loss of his wife to cancer, he's built a life of cold control until he meets the woman who could thaw his guarded heart. He wasn't looking to love again. She wasn't looking to trust. But in a city built on neon dreams, they might just find a second chance neither dared to hope for. It happened in Vegas. Sometimes the biggest risk is opening your heart. Get your copy today on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. It happened in Vegas. Vegas was the lie. Love was the truth. From author Tyree Carter on Amazon. What if the secret to healthier, more radiant skin wasn't found in a laboratory, but in generations of family tradition? That's exactly what you will find at ShivaOrganics.com, a woman-owned skincare company inspired by the Moroccan heritage of the founder, who's a mother and daughter who spent nearly 20 years sharing their botanical skincare with family and friends before bringing it to the world. Shiva comes from the Moroccan word for wormwood, a healing herb treasured for generations. It's a symbol of comfort, wellness, family, and care. The same values found in every ShivaOrganics.com product. Made with 100% organic ingredients, ShivaOrganics.com helps hydrate, strengthen the skin barrier, and restore balance to dry, stressed, and sensitive skin. When you visit ShivaOrganics.com, discover the healing. It's a deep moisture barrier repair balm that delivers lasting hydration, supports a stronger skin barrier, restores a healthy-looking glow, and is specially formulated for dry and reactive skin. Featured on Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, and more.
All right, less than a minute, we'll be back. Oh, man. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. It's 888-465-2631. The number is pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 30 seconds. Oh, boy, the show has flown by. All right, we're back. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. All right, so I wanted to finish up with Saeed Abdul. I'm not sure what his name is. Whatever, the Tlaib's guy. And this civil war inside the Democrat Party. You know, remember President Trump in the first campaign, say what you want to say about Democrats, they always stick together. They are destroying one another. And these, you know, this is one thing that the Democrat Socialist, a lot of their front people are Muslims. Mamdani's the leader. It's no longer Bernie Sanders. AOC is like she's yesterday's news. They still use her because she's a name and stuff, but she's not really a player in their movement as much as they say she is. They've got this new wave. And one thing I've noticed about Muslim immigrants is they're not into becoming Americans. Like my great-great-grandparents, they came here from Europe. They wanted to be American. The Muslims want us to assimilate to them, right? And they don't care what kind of destruction they have to do that. And that's what they're doing to the Democrats. They're really not concerned with winning any majorities in Congress right now. They want to win control of the party. That's all they care about because they believe they're so right about everything. And Abdul was on MS Now the other day, and I'm going to play this clip of him, and he explains a little bit about what's going on. When at some point, it may be right after this midterm election, they're going to change the name of the Democrat Party to the Democrat Socialist of America. You know that, right? They are. That's just what they're going to do. And if they don't have the majorities for the next few election cycles, they don't care. They're playing a long game here. So here's Abdul on MS Now.
You're on the record saying that if you make it to the Senate and Democrats take back control, you're not going to vote for Chuck Schumer as majority leader. You did say something like Senator Chris Van Hollen would be a better option. Anybody else that you would consider as majority leader, and how come?
Well, look, I tell you this. I want whoever's going to give you the best shot at leading to get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all. And I know right now the leadership that we've had for too long on the Democratic side is a lot more interested in courting big money into our politics. We've watched as money has come out of our politics, and we don't yet have Medicare for all, not even a movement for it. And so we need leadership that is going to lead forthrightly on these questions. I think Senator Van Hollen has demonstrated he has the right combination of statesmanship and legislative acumen and leadership on these issues. I think he'd make a fantastic Senate majority leader when we win the Senate.
Yeah, and the guy, this idiot that's interviewing him, let me look him up. Let me look the guy up that's interviewing him. Is he Jewish and promoting this Muslim guy here? Let me see here. This guy's been on MSNBC, now he's on MS Now. Let me see if he is Jewish. It doesn't say. He went to New York University. I think he is. Yes, he's Jewish. So here you got a Jewish guy who's advocating for this Muslim to become the senator from New York. This is nuts. I mean, from Michigan. It's really nuts what's going on here. And while I welcome the destruction of the Democrat Party, because what these Democrat socialists, what they're going to do is cause so much destruction inside the Democrat Party that they're going to become a third party, okay? And, I've been watching J.D. Vance a lot I saw him. Did you see him in New York over the weekend and everything else? He was doing great. He does great. And he is the favorite to be our second MAGA president. And I am very confident in him. I've been watching him with all these liberal interviewers and all these events, and he's got that charm factor. I love Marco Rubio, and Marco Rubio has been my favorite. I'm going to support whoever of these two make it, and get the nomination. And Marco Rubio is spectacular, and I love Marco Rubio, but he doesn't have the charming quality that J.D. Vance has. As much as I love him, I'll vote. They'd be great as a team, president and vice president. But J.D. Vance has the ability to get people who hate him to like him. And it's absolutely amazing. And I am 100% confident that whoever the second MAGA president is, if it's J.D. Vance, if it's Marco Rubio or Pete Hegseth, whoever the second MAGA president is going to continue the great work of President Trump. Because President Trump's always going to be behind the scenes controlling the party for the rest of his life. There will not be a Republican president that does not have President Trump's endorsement for the rest of his life when he leaves the White House. So I have no doubt that we're going to continue doing the great work that we're doing now with the next couple of MAGA presidents. No doubt in my mind. And the Democrat Party is going to become a fringe third party. And when these Democrat socialists are done destroying the Democrat Party and they rename the party to the Democrat Socialist of America, what's going to happen to all those Democrats? Now, you'll have your useful idiot old-timers who will never vote for Republicans. The older crowd of liberal Democrats that will never vote for a Republican, it's a pretty simple reason. And I'm talking about the older than me Democrats. In the 80s and 90s and in the early 2000s, the Republican Party, when we were in the losing phase of Republicanism, they were one of the biggest groups behind the Republican Party was the Christian Coalition. And I got no problem with the Christian Coalition. They do a lot of great work, no doubt about it. But a lot of anti-Christian old-time Democrats, they view the Republican Party as a church organization, and they're atheist and they hate Christians. But younger Democrats that aren't the New York, LA, Seattle, Portland, Oregon Democrats are going to gravitate towards us. They really, truly are. And you saw it over the weekend. I was watching so much of the interviewing with different news outlets of people at the fair in D.C. Very diverse, a lot of young people. Did you see the line for the Pennsylvania pavilion? Look what happened, right? Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania would not participate in the fair for Pennsylvania. So Fetterman, and who did Fetterman get together with? I've forgotten. He put together a booth for Pennsylvania. And Florida has the best of the booths. If you go and look at them, Florida, we have an incredible booth with displays and interactive things in there. It's pretty cool. But the line for the Pennsylvania booth, because that's where Independence Hall is in Pennsylvania, was around the whole fair. It was amazing. And Fetterman did that. And the reason that you hear Fetterman talk so reasonable, even though he votes with the Democrats, because the majority of people that are even lifelong Democrats, I'm not talking about the old ones, but they're with us when it comes to a love of America, a love of country, And you saw that over the 250th anniversary celebrations around the country. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. We're going to take our first break at the 8 o'clock hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. I'm going to check in with John over at Lighthouse Medical in Pompano.
Brian here. I'm at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano, sitting with John. He's the Chief Operating Officer and Director of Neuropathy Treatment right here at Lighthouse Medical Center. John, a lot of people have neuropathy. They may have had it for years. They've gone to their primary care physician, maybe even a specialist like a neurologist, and their doctors have told them there's no treatment for neuropathy. That's your life now. That's not true, is it?
No, it's not true, Brian. I mean, it's a real common misconception. There's a lot of clinicians who just don't understand neuropathy or how to assess it, how to treat it. We're specialized in this. One
Oh
of the
my
biggest
gosh.
frustrations is patients don't get proper blood work, metabolic dysfunction testing, looking at their gut health, inflammation, or their lifestyle choices with diet, sleep, nutrition, hormones. There's so many things that can affect neuropathy. But typically, for most patients, we do a very extensive assessment with really extensive blood work, genetic blood work, and physical testing, and we're able to evaluate the patient to see do you or don't you have neuropathy, and then we provide them with a treatment plan options for what would be needed to be done for their situation to help them get better.
You know, I've talked to quite a few of my listeners that are patients of yours, and I've heard incredible things. I've heard that people have seen relief from neuropathy symptoms after their very first treatment, and I've talked to people that had the treatment through you after years, and their neuropathy symptoms still have not returned.
Yes. We're able to help people who are at different stages of neuropathy. Some people in the very beginning stages, we don't want it to get bad, so we're able to treat it sooner because they come in sooner when they notice any sort of symptoms or suspect something. We have patients who have really bad neuropathy who are at 70, 80, 90% nerve damage in both of their lower extremities, and we're able to help them as well. That's the difference of them walking or not, or being able to get up and do things or not. So we have to assess each patient one by one, and that's what needs to be done with our extensive testing.
Call Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano and schedule your no-charge consultation right now. Let them treat you and rid you of your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
We'll be right back.
Since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At LaPorta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At LaPorta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we'll be back in less than 30 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. I got one story I want to mention before I go to the phones. This is a big one. It's a big one. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. There's a story before I go to the phones I want to mention. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard that Mitch McConnell was found unconscious and taken to the hospital, and he's been out of sight for weeks now, it seems, and he's not expected to make it. It's pretty bad, and they covered this up quite a bit. But something strange has come out since yesterday, and it's with his wife. Now, Mitch McConnell, who is one of the most physically just disgusting looking individuals in all of Washington. He's just revolting to look at him. He's like Harvey Weinstein, right? His wife, Elaine Chao, is from a very prominent and wealthy Chinese family. While he's in the hospital, and hospice and coma, whatever situation is, Mitch McConnell's wife has fled to China. She went to China and met with the vice president of China in the last couple of days. What is that about? 3 days after Mitch McConnell went into cardiac arrest, his wife, Elaine Chao, flew to China and met with the vice president of China. What is that about? Now, my first thought would be that, well, she's obviously his Chinese handler, CCP handler, and he's a valuable person for the CCP because he has security clearance and gets all kinds of information, and they may be in a panic on who they can replace him with. Very strange and disturbing. Don't you agree? Mm-hmm. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Oh, hey, JJ.
Hey. Interesting story about Mitch and the wife. Interesting how she just kind of flew the coop rather quickly there.
Well, it's not just that. She 3 days after. Let me answer these phone calls that are coming. Phones are ringing off the hook. 3 days after Mitch McConnell's cardiac arrest, she goes to China and then meets with their vice president. What? Something's up.
Yeah, no, it's just. I mean, how the hell? I don't know. Is that like right out of Central Casting for Spy 101? I mean, what the hell is that?
Seems like a panic move.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that. And who knows what she brought with her? I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. But I was going to mention this red card about this kid, Balogun. And the thing is, that rule that they used for him, they used the same rule for Cristiano Ronaldo earlier in the World Cup qualifiers.
The first week.
So it's been used before. It's been used before.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Trump did. I'm glad. I mean, why? I mean, Doc at the beginning of the show. It's the United States. It's our team. This is the biggest thing in the world for most people of the world. Soccer or football, as they call it. It's the biggest damn thing. It's like the Super Bowl times 10 for the people of the world.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I'm glad the kid's going to be in the game. Can't wait to see it tonight. But one of the things you mentioned was the Patriot Front. And, these guys, these types of groups, as we've, I've often thought that there was, what money is behind all these people. Well, we found out from the SPLC, and I just think there's another group out there just like the SPLC that's funding these guys. They just light the fuse, they create this.
For those that are missing, for those that missed earlier, just to recap what's going on here, the Patriot Front is a fake, staged group of actors that are presented as white nationalists. They've been around for the last 2 or 3 years. They came out of nowhere. We know nothing about them. We thought they were feds, but we're the feds now, right? I don't think Kash Patel and Todd Blanchett are behind the Patriot Front. Then I thought, well, it can't be Southern Poverty Law Center because they've been exposed. So who's behind them? And this photograph that they dropped over the weekend on a D.C. public bus, it's filled with the Patriot Front people with their masks and glasses and hats on, with a black woman that they're around who looks terrified. This is the most fake stage photograph in the history of American politics.
She looks like a little girl in that photo. It's sort of like a cat with a mouse. She looks like a little mouse in there, and all the cats are just... But nobody's paying any attention to her. Nobody is stabbing her in the neck. That's ridiculous.
She's with them.
But the whole thing
She's with the Patriot Front. She's part of them.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. She's part of the Patriot Front.
Who took the picture?
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible. But even if it wasn't, Brian, it's fake. It doesn't... Even if that girl was on there, which I agree that it's very well the entire thing staged, but even if it wasn't, they go on, look, there's a black girl on this bus. Everybody get on. Everything about them is staged. They do. It's like It's like the Tonight Show. You got the.
How did the
Running,
Patriot Front
it's the
get it?
setup.
How did the Patriot Front find a completely empty DC bus that only had one person on it, who happens to be a young black girl, that they could surround?
Well, Brian, the thing is, in D.C. now, it is so safe and clean, that there are people actually riding the buses. I think that's a possibility. Either way, Brian, my point is that these guys are fake as hell, and they probably, if she's not with them, they couldn't believe their luck. But my other point, the main point is that these people are just the setup. They light the fuse, and the media throws the bomb. You heard the reporter ask the question of the secretary. What do you get? This white supremacy. Well, what do you mean white supremacy? These guys just got their last check from the SPLC. Now they're going to be. Right now they're interviewing for a job with the other SPLC that's probably somewhere in Uzbekistan.
Well, there's someone behind them. It's not the feds. It's not Southern Poverty. I don't think it's the DNC, because they got too much going on with the Democrat Socialist. But Kash Patel needs to get to the bottom of this.
There's probably, I got to believe they got somebody in there. I mean, I think the governor, Newsom from California, I think that the Democrats, they went after him because they didn't want him getting too big for his, they didn't, he was kind of stepping out of line. And, so they went in and they started that investigation under Biden, and we're going to reap the benefits from it.
Yes.
But, it's, anyway.
Well, listen, JJ, I got to run, but good points. I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brother Brian, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
There are many, everyone has watched 007 James Bond when he gets in those tight fix called a cliffhanger and somehow gets out of it. I need Mondami to be in a cliffhanger that he's not going to get out. Now, Brian, how long does it take before his election comes up to vote him out? How long?
Who?
4 years?
Who?
Mondani.
Well, I get he's got it's a 4-year office. Yeah.
Okay, so eventually we're going to see New York look like London when people are walking wall to wall or sidewalk to sidewalk all the way down to 30 blocks and opposing what's going on. And it's a little bit beyond that point right now, but eventually the New Yorkers are going to have to open their eyes, because when good men do nothing, they will win. This guy wants to defund the police. Who's going to go to the riot? And when you're looting the business, people are bum rushing, like Neiman Marcus or whatever, and they're taking whatever. Who are they going to call? What center do they call?
I don't know.
All of these
Ghostbusters. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. Okay. I mean, the Democrat, I do applaud the Democrat Socialists for destroying the Democrat Party, okay? Because that party's it's going to be done when this is all over. And they'll never be able to recover from it. And we need another couple of MAGA presidents before we can correct the immigration issue. I gotta run, but I do appreciate the call. Let me take one more call before the break. I shouldn't, but I will. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir, Mr. Brian. This is a blind colonizer from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, what's up?
What's up? Last time, on Friday when I called, you asked the question, and then when I was answering, I don't know, the technician or whatever, Mike kind of cut me off, so I didn't. You asked me what.
Nobody. If anybody cut you off, it was me.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember the question. What was the question I asked you?
You said what? Okay, you said what could Ethiopia teach me? Why would I go to Ethiopia?
American. Yes. No, I asked you which way is the best. No, that's not what I said. I asked you. Now I remember. I asked you which way is the best way, the American way or the Ethiopian way?
And I answered, you can learn from both societies.
Oh, okay.
Have to pick one
all right. To lead into your question. Okay, so what can we learn? What can we learn from Ethiopia?
Well, what I was saying was that you can learn history, you can learn culture.
No.
No. It's the oldest nation in the world.
No.
So,
we don't need to know any of that. Nope. I mean, obviously, there's things that are learned. I mean, I could go over there and get directions and learn how to get to the, get to the airport or something, or get to the hotel from the airport. That's useless knowledge. Ethiopian history is useless knowledge.
You're Ethiopian.
No, I'm American. I'm a Native American.
If Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens came from Ethiopia, we're all from Ethiopia.
Oh, so I'm an African American?
No, you're not African American.
Well, if I'm Ethiopian, that's in Africa, and I'm an American citizen. So you're saying I'm an African American. All right, take care. Oh boy, think about that one. All right, we'll take our break, but first I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Listen, this is an amazing offer. This is for a limited time, okay? And you know when I'm going to know when it's over? In the morning before I go off the air. One day soon, I'm going to get an email saying the special is no longer there, but it is there now, okay? Coastal Weight Loss Secret, where you've seen me lose so much weight. I have a flat stomach. I weigh what I weighed 30 years ago. I have a square jaw. I have my neck back. My face is no longer round. And it's all because of Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I have been on one diet program. It's Coastal Weight Loss Secret, and it worked. And I've kept the weight off, and you can too. But Coastal Weight Loss Secret, for America's 250th anniversary that we just had on Saturday, is offering $400 off. You heard that right, $400 off. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call. That's right, $400 off, but for a limited time. They can help you lose weight no matter where you're located in America or the world. Call right now. Schedule your no-charge consultation with Coastal Weight Loss Secret and receive $400 off. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. We'll be right back.
Inspired by a love for one-of-a-kind bohemian designs, Kita Luxury was created with a simple mission to make extraordinary handmade jewelry accessible to everyone. Behind every creation is a talented team of skilled artisans, each bringing their custom expertise to metalwork, stone cutting, beading, and fine jewelry craftsmanship to produce stunning wearable works of art. Whether you're searching for a breathtaking statement necklace, elegant earrings, handcrafted bracelets, beautiful rings, or meaningful jewelry for both men and women, you'll discover pieces that celebrate your individuality and personal style. Every design is carefully handcrafted using high-quality, natural materials, creating jewelry that's more than an accessory. It's a reflection of who you are. Whether you're shopping for yourself or searching for the perfect gift, Kita Luxury offers timeless handcrafted jewelry designed to inspire, delight, and be treated for years to come. These healing crystals are some of the best healing jewelry on Etsy. Visit KetaLuxury.etsy.com. That's KEETA luxury.etsy.com. KetaLuxury.etsy.com. Handcrafted jewelry that tells your story. KetaLuxury.etsy.com.
My Pillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our premium My Pillow set adjusters for individual needs to make the best sleep of your life.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. Stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And Keys and Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $59.98. Lux Spear 6-piece towel set, towels naturally drying, other concepts, now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
All right, we'll be back in seconds, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. We got about 30 seconds and we'll be back. Less than 30 seconds. 20 seconds. The show has flown by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, I was talking about my run-in with the police this morning, a little bit after 5 a.m., while I was live streaming on YouTube. How many? It was amazing. It was amazing. That spotlight, I'll tell you. But I was talking about how, you know, white people, we get stopped and questioned by the police too. But people have this alt reality. Alicia Keys, who I always thought Alicia Keys was a very strange looking person, but did you see this audio of Alicia Keys over the weekend? Listen, Alicia Keys, listen.
Did you know that it's been 100 years since the Equal Rights Amendment was first introduced? And now, still, women don't have an explicit guarantee to equal rights under the U.S. Constitution. Can you believe that? I couldn't even believe that was real.
Because it's not Alicia Keys. It's not real.
I mean, we're not asking for special rights, just equal rights. Let's turn outrage into authorship. If it's the 250th celebration of the country, isn't it time to update some things? What rights or guarantees do you feel all women should have in America?
I'd like to know, what rights do women not have that we men have? What rights do men have that women don't?
That's a good question. I'm not here to speak for you. I just want to pass you the mic. So have your say at peoplesbillofrights250.org.
Oh.
Not red, not blue. Just you.
Yes, you and Dum Dum. I mean, gee whiz. Does Alicia Keys really believe that men have rights that women do not have in 2026? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Cheryl, calling from Michigan.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, yeah, this guy running for our Senate, the only thing he's a doctor of, they just made a law in Michigan for animal sacrifice.
No, come on. Don't. We're not talking about that kind of stuff. I don't know what kind of doctor he is, but he's favored to win the primary.
Well, I'm out there for Mike Rogers. I'm letting everybody know what.
Well, you're not helping Mike Rogers talking that way. You're helping. What's his name? Saeed. Because when you talk that way, I'm sure you're a nice person. Don't take this the wrong way. But when you talk about that stuff, you discount. You're discounting the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, and you sound nuts.
Okay, all right.
I mean, do you really think, you're talking about animal sacrifice, do you really think it helps the Republicans if you talk about animal sacrifice?
Well, there's so many animal lovers. You know,
No. No, you sound crazed when you do that. Yeah, that's no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, all right. I'll watch my words and then leave that stuff out of it. But we cannot let him win.
I mean, I got to tell you, this is just me personally. I would not, for public office, I would not vote for someone that's not a Christian or a Jew.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Christianity and Judaism is the same religion. Okay, that's why
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a Christian.
I would not. I would.
Watch my mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't even think about that.
yeah. Well, what you're saying is ridiculous. Anyway, I mean, I don't want to get into a position where I'm. What's the guy's name? Ahmed Saeed. I don't know what his name is. The Muslim guy.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But I'm not going to get in a position of defending him. But what you're doing is not productive. All right, I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. I wonder, was that a seminar caller? What do you guys think? Oh, I do want to mention, before I forget, all that, they had some brownouts in Queens over the weekend. You know what we now know, this is just the reality, of why Mamdani wanted everybody to turn their heat on during the heat wave. It was for Taylor Swift's wedding at Madison Square Garden, right? Mamdani was afraid that the electricity would go out because of her wedding. That's why he wanted people to put their thermostat up to 78 and put the heat on during a heat wave. No question about it. And they had some brownouts. And, you know, that's how the communists operate. See, in the communist societies, the rich and elite, like Taylor Swift, they don't do without. It's the peasants who do without. And, you know, this thing with Taylor Swift, you know, there's been celebrity weddings in the past that have been high profile. I remember when Michael Jackson married Lisa Marie, that was high profile. They were trying to hide it from the paparazzi. Elizabeth Taylor, remember when she married that guy she met in rehab? The construction worker, I can't remember his name. That was another big celebrity wedding. And if you remember these weddings, like the Elizabeth Taylor and the Michael Jackson weddings, they got, you know, and they were, oh, we don't want the paparazzi around. They got married outside, remember that? And they were acting, and the helicopters were flying over and everything else. Taylor Swift was probably filming a Netflix documentary film inside of there. That's why they did it at Madison Square Garden. But why do you think Taylor Swift got married in this psycho wedding that she got married in? I know why. And I, you know, when I've been around, when you grow up, you care a lot less about celebrities than when you're a younger person. There's no doubt about that. But why do you think Taylor Swift got married? I'll tell you why. She got married because her fan base are getting married and having kids. And she's still running. I saw her at some of the, I kind of liked Taylor Swift back when she was doing country. I remember seeing her at the music awards when she was doing country, and I liked her then. But the stuff she's been doing lately, when I've seen her at the football games, she acts like a child when she's up there. She's always performing, you know. And, you know, I got no beef with Taylor Swift, but I'm just telling you about why she got married, okay? I couldn't care less about Taylor Swift. But there is a relevancy from the politics because Mom Donnie was trying to get people in New York City to turn their heat on so that Taylor Swift's wedding was powered. I wonder what the temperature was inside Madison Square Garden. What do you think the thermostat was set at inside of Madison Square Garden? You think it was set at 78? I don't think so. But Taylor Swift got married not for a normal reason. If she got married for a normal reason, she wouldn't have done it inside Madison Square Garden. She got married to keep up with her fan base so that her fan base will still relate and connect to her. It's so fake. It really is. Isn't it? That's the only reason. She didn't get married for any other reason other than that. Because what happens, and you see this with people, I see this with people that I've been fans with over the years. When people get to be, you know, in their 30s and 40s and they're not married and never been married, never been, never have, you don't, they don't have an understanding of what life's all about and what's going on, right? They're in arrested development. They're still like children. And Taylor Swift is it sounds crazy, but she's a very, very smart person. She's a billionaire. She's very smart. And the people around her are very smart people. And if she can no longer relate to her fan base, she's going to lose her fan base. So what better way to do that is to get married and have a kid and pretend to be like your fan base, a happy married wife with a kid. That's what this is all about. It's not like a normal wedding. Oh, you know what I got to do this morning? I got to stop in over at Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh my goodness. I almost died over the weekend. You know, I don't know. There's just some things I don't pay attention to that I should. But I took my my wife's car, my Mini Cooper. I took my Mini Cooper on a ride up the turnpike through the construction zone, all this stuff. And I got home in my driveway, and I'm taking stuff out of my car, and I'm walking in, and I look down, and I saw the front passenger side tire, and by the way, the driver's side tire is the same thing. And what I saw, I couldn't believe what I saw. I could see the belts on my tire. you know, the tires that are on my car are the ones that came with the car. I couldn't believe it. I saw the belts on the tire. So I'm going to call this morning, I'm going to call Mike over at Friendly Tire and tell him I need some new tires on my Mini Cooper. The belts are showing, and they're run flats. And I got the price when I was at the dealer. I go to the dealer for oil changes because they give me free oil changes, and they said, oh, you need new tires. I just tuned that out because they told me I need everything. And they told me how much the tires are, which I'll tell you later, but I'm going to do a price comparison between what the dealer told me and what Friendly Tire and Margate's going to give me on the tires. But I'm going to call Friendly Mike today. I have run flats, and he has great deals on run flats. This is the second Mini Cooper. It's my third Mini Cooper, but the second one I've had since I've known Mike over at Friendly Tire. Give Friendly Mike a call. He has incredible deals on tires, new and used. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be back with the Gold Report after this. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman at the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our first look at gold, silver, and the other precious metals for the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals starting the week off?
Metals are starting off a little weaker after Friday's nice up.
Oh, William, did we lose you? Oh boy, we were just about to get it, and then he's on his cell, and the cell cut out. Hold on, William. Oh boy. We're on the edge of our seats. Hold on, let me try this. Let me try it again. All right, William, are you back with us? Oh, no, we lost the connection. That could happen sometimes. Let me try him back real quick. And if not, you're going to be stuck with me, guys. You're going to be stuck with me. All right, let's go. If you're on hold, hang in there, guys. Let's see. I'm going to try it one more time. One more time, and then we'll... Okay, here we go. Let's see. Stand by. Call us on hold. Don't go anywhere. No, we're in a bad cell zone, so maybe he'll call me back before the end of the show. Oh, no, yeah, we're in a bad cell zone, so maybe William will call me back. But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to wait for William to give me a ring back for the prices this morning, but I got to tell you this. That when it comes to the buying and the selling of... oh, here he is. All right, William Youngman, we lost you, but we got you back now.
Hello?
Yep, we got you now, William.
Hello?
Yep, William, can you hear me? Okay, hold on, let me try one more time. Live radio, people. All right, William, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost you.
Your cell went completely dead. We heard nothing, so we got to start all over.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry.
That happens.
Okay, gold on Friday. On Friday, closing up $52.20 at $4,174.10. Silver was up $1.43, closing out the week at $62.27. Platinum gained $22, closing out the week at $1,638. And palladium was up $5 at $12.51. All that on very light trading, of course, with the markets or many market makers closed for the holiday. The pullback this morning, we see gold at $41.3650 right now. That's down $37.60. Silver down 87 cents at $61.40. Platinum down $29 at $1,609. And palladium down $4 at $1,247 the ounce. So the markets are kind of digesting back and forth these gains that we had from last week, and the oil prices continue to move lower, around $58 a barrel. This is indicative of a bottoming process of what we're seeing, and if the holds in this over above this $4,000 range, we could be looking at the bottom of the pullback.
Well, that's all good news.
Great opportunity for people to take advantage of.
Absolutely. Well, listen, William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway. On the south side of Palmetto Park Road and on the first floor of the Bank of America building. You can also call toll-free 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. 5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, we are back. So we had this great 4th of July over the weekend, and, you know, what Mom Donnie did was insane. Listen.
The powerful have always known their America, their view, is an arena of supremacy, where only a select few are allowed freedom, where not all are created equal. America, if you ask them, becomes less the more people it welcomes. America, they will tell you, belongs only to those with the right accent or the right shade of skin. The rest of us, they insist, should be grateful for merely being allowed to visit. How small they are, how weak, how unoriginal.
Okay, that was Mom Donnie on Friday with his 4th of July message. And he was sitting at George Washington's desk, and it looked like the desk was backwards. I don't know, is it a two-sided partner's desk? I don't know. And he was surrounded by foreigners or immigrants, okay? And this is what I mean, that these Democrats, socialists, communists are not hiding who and what they are. I mean, how dare he? Here you have Mom Donnie. Do you know how long he's been an American citizen? 8 years. He became a U.S. citizen in 2018, I believe. 8 years. He comes from a third world country, although his family are multimillionaires and his wife is a multimillionaire. His wife jetted off to this Muslim women's retreat, ladies' retreat in Spain. They cost many thousands of dollars a day to go to. And he's talking about that only the privileged. Where else in America? I want you to think about it. He's talking about, what did he call us?
The powerful have always known their America, in their view, is an arena of supremacy.
America is an arena of supremacy. And what he means by that is white supremacy. Here you got a guy who's from a third world country in Africa, who's been a U.S. citizen for 8 years, and he's the mayor of the most important city in the United States, New York City. And he's telling us that this is a country that discriminates against immigrants or non-white people or have people that have accents and everything else. He has an accent. He hides it most of the time. Every once in a while it slips. This is what we're dealing with here. What we're dealing with is a communist revolution in this country. Now, it's a different type of revolution. These communists are very smart. All they do is move into communities and run for office. They've had great success in England. They have Muslims and communists in parliament, and all of that, and they're doing it here, and not just in New York, all over the country. And they're not all Muslims either, right? They got a Nazi in Maine. But to sit there at George Washington's desk, number one, and lecture Americans on what America is, that's insane. To be an immigrant that's only been a U.S. citizen for 8 years and be the mayor of America's most important city and still tell us that this is a country about white supremacy that doesn't let people who are not born here or white or have accents or speak other languages make it. If that were true, he wouldn't be the mayor of New York City. It wouldn't have been allowed. This is really a scary time. And these Democrats, socialists, communists are not a joke. Okay? They are not a joke. And we have to expose them and call them out. And no, not work with the Democrats to save the Democrat Party. I know that's the Fox News line. Well, we got to help the Democrats. No, we don't need to help the Democrats. But we have to call these people out, the Democrat socialists. You've heard what I've shared on the air today. I have more, but I don't have time for more today. But these are very scary times. This is a communist revolution going on in this country. And if it can be stopped, I don't know, we can at least slow it down right now. I don't know if it can be stopped fully because they have a generation of bums that don't want to work. Millennials and Gen Z especially do not like to work for a living. And when you have two generations that like to sit at home and do nothing all day, communism, you can call it socialism if you like, communism is pretty appetizing to them. They like it because that means they can sit at home and do nothing and have Medicare for all and guaranteed housing and all this stuff. It sounds good if you're a loser who doesn't want to work and is sitting at home all day. So they know their audience and they're preaching to their audience. They're not talking to you or me. They have an audience out there for it. Now I want to talk about Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas offers no-charge consultations, which you should take advantage of. Talk to him about annuities, okay? But I want to share with you the value of that no-charge consultation with Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, by the way, has over 30 years of experience as a financial planner. He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. So he's a top man in the industry, and he's offering you a no-charge consultation. Go and talk to Joe Thomas. You can take advantage of this no-charge consultation no matter where you're located. If you can make it in person at his office in Jupiter, do that. But you can do it over the phone or through a Zoom call too. Talk to him about how you can protect your money from stock market losses, stop losing money, and generate income for the rest of your life in your retirement with annuities. And there's many different types of annuities to choose from. When you have your no-charge consultation with Joe Thomas, talk to him about it. There's many different types of annuities. Give him a call. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed that number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com, and you'll find it there, jupiterjoe.com. So I just want to end on this, a couple of notes. And if you're on hold, hang in there. You'll be first in line on the show tomorrow morning at 6 when I go live. Number one, if you want to catch my interaction with the police this morning, go to my YouTube channel. It happened when I was live streaming a little bit after 5 o'clock this morning, and you can see my little run-in and how I handled myself. I did not handle myself like I normally do with police. When the spotlight in my eyes did push my buttons a little bit, and I was not my normal police dealing self. But you can see the interaction and decide for yourself if I behaved properly or not. But I want to end where I started. Today, you're going to hear a lot of people attacking our president for intervening with this World Cup red card. That's what the president is supposed to do. The president of the United States is an advocate for America to win everywhere, including in the World Cup, right? And President Trump called the guy. We don't know the details of the conversation. Maybe we'll find out. President Trump will probably tell us. But he should have asked the guy. And there's nothing wrong with him asking the guy to take care of the red card, which he did. So our top player can play tonight against Belgium. I'll tell you, that Belgian game is going to be the most watched game because everyone's going to be tuned in tonight. And I hope we win. but it's not an abuse of power or anything inappropriate, because President Trump did not have the power. He had the power of persuasion, I guess, but he didn't have the power to do anything about it. All he had the power to do was to pick up the phone and get the guy on the phone and say, hey, it's the President of the United States. Could you do something about that red card so our number one guy can play? That's what you want the president to do. The leader of any country should be advocating for their team to win in the World Cup, shouldn't they? Only among liberals and Trump derangement syndrome suffering idiots did he do something wrong. It would have been wrong for him if he didn't think he should intervene and ask, right? There were two other players. Massey was one. There was another one. I don't follow the soccer enough to know, but I saw this widely reported. There was another player, too, that had a similar thing. Okay? So this is what they've been doing in the World Cup. It was not an abuse of power or inappropriate. In fact, it was the appropriate thing for President Trump to do. It really, truly was. He is the coach of Team America, and that's Team USA right there. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I hope everyone had a good, fun, safe 4th of July. I know I did. I might have partaken too much in the... I went to a... I'll talk more about the party later this week, because I got together with a 4th of July party with one of our MAGA cruisers at their house, and boy, it was a great 4th of July party. It was maybe the best 4th of July party I've ever been to, with live music and lots of booze, I'll tell you that. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone. All right, we're clear. Guys, before you go, make sure you like the video if you don't mind, okay? And those of you that are new, welcome. Oh, and thank you. I'm a bit C sometimes for that super chat. Greatly appreciated. If you're new, please subscribe. Welcome to the community. And everyone else, please like the